Eve on Onivia as well now. My bad. It's a little bit late to start today.
Because yes, all the history is against them, but there would be no more fabled time than right here in
Okay,
China,
right.
in
Let's
front of their
get into it. I need to get myself a drink, so I'm just gonna take my. I'm gonna leave you the stream for just a second, folks.
It's what Jackie Love
One sec.
has
Okay.
said about like he's had a little bit of difficulty practicing throughout the year because of injuries, but I also like what he said in interviews and what Coach Ohm has said in interviews about the team themselves trying to overcome their own like
demons.
Yeah, exactly. Like they always say the biggest opponent of top esports is top esports, kind of like how you pointed out their finishes, right?
I disagree. I think it's the LCK.
We can agree to disagree, but I think that is really, it's been a good sign that they have shown a little bit more life in them thus far at this tournament. So I just hope going into this match they can really shed that once and for all.
Yeah, a big spotlight on that ADC, and Lord did speak with Jackie Love after his qualification for the semifinals in the Verizon Game Day interview.
Jackie Love, thank you so much for joining me after reaching semifinals. Congratulations. I remember that your coach home after Swiss stage, I had an interview with him and he was telling me that an important aspect for TES is the mindset, the mental aspect, and that is something that he has been working on with you and the rest of the team. Could you tell me more about this?
就是我们可能在有一些游戏内容上来说的话，会打得比较急躁。然后最近的话，我觉得我们这方面是做的挺好。然后就是心态这一方面呢，就是需要每个人就是自己去调整嘛。然后就是平常大家也会一起就是聊聊天，因为就怕大家有压力嘛，然后就是给大家分担点压力。我觉得现在我们每个人的心态也都就非常好吧，因为也觉得就是已经走到这了，也没什么，就是也不存在什么压力了吧。 不能被外界所影响，就准备好接下来的比赛。
I'm glad to see that it's going well for you. A bit more about you. I kept on reading during interviews that you had health issues. I was just wondering how has it been going and how did you manage to power through and display such a great level of League of Legends despite this?
这方面就是我身上最主要的其实是耳朵这方面吧，因为严重的时候就是会影响到平常训练，而且和一些休息吧，这个是就比较关键的。然后。 其实平常的话，就是还是去努力去克服吧。主要是在训练的时候，也就不要去想它嘛。然后就是想着是所有比赛打完之后，然后再去就是好好去看一下。
Cannot wait to see more of TES in semifinals. 谢谢. Thank you so much for the interview. Wendy, thank you so much for the translation.
And there's something I want to latch onto when it comes to that first answer to the interview, because some of the most memorable moments for Worlds for me thus far have been Keria, they were down 1-2, he made a mistake, takes off his jacket and giggles. We had yesterday, BDD, Dokdom, Cuz all make a mistake, didn't care, just had a giggle and just kept it going. And that is something that I think they have correctly identified. It can make such a difference in the up and down of League of Legends.
Hello everyone, how's it going?
I feel like Jackie Love's first ever team did have, right? In 2018.
Is everyone seeing buffering? I don't know what that would be. Hello everyone though, how's it going? But yeah, when it comes to this series, folks, for Top Esports T1, Top Esports, they have a golden road for success, as in, like, there's that golden angle, but they do need to hit a lot of stuff for it to work. I think it's going to be very hard for them to win a full best of 5 versus T1, who are picking up momentum. They need a winning bot lane. They need Kanavi to be on, you know, individual advantage junglers like Neferi, or I don't know, Shinzo in a good matchup, dominating early game, you know, stuff like that, right? And then while all that happens, you also need 369 to have a good laning phase. I think that I think 369 can beat Doran in laning phase. I think Doran's laning has been quite poor, but you can't allow this to go to even team fights. You can't really allow that to happen. Yeah, I think if it comes down to... And also, the other thing too is that top esports always need to stay very calm on their resets and objective play, something which Gen G didn't do, actually. Gen G did not play around objectives very well yesterday at all. Oh, yeah, by the way, folks, just a quick reminder as well. this month's streams are brought to you by Opera GX. If you type Opera GX in chat, that's in Twitch mainly, but I'll put the link elsewhere. Then, yes, you can support us. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. You can just download it through the referral link, and yeah, it's really helpful for us if you can do that, of course.
Yeah, it is still something that a lot of people are looking at, I think, right? Because they're going to need that superstar performance, or maybe not. It all depends on what version.
And yeah, the idea is, folks, if we actually are quite, you know, if there's success with us doing this kind of campaign, then yeah, it'll hopefully open up other opportunities for us. Hey, Soulpup, how's it going? Good to see you. I don't know why I'm pretty sure at least one person used the download link yesterday, so I don't know why it's still saying 0. Promise you I'm not quite that much of a loser, but billionaire mates. Faker has been insane. I will say, folks, I think that Faker has been... Actually, hang on. Do you know if Kitty has a guest for today? Maybe we should ask some people to see if there's anyone else who wants to stick around for Or what was I call it for like a duo stream or something. Genji actually lost. Yeah, Genji lost to KT, and it wasn't particularly close actually. Canyon was really quite bad. Chovy in particular had a very bad game 3. BDD was excellent. I think that Keen was doing pretty well in games 1 and 2. Games 3 and 4 started to fall off more from him. The drafts were quite bad from Genji, and they reset and played around objectives very poorly. Very poorly.
And I think it's really poignant after if you look at what happened yesterday, right? And Chovy not
Oh, I can't believe that AL got T1'd at Worlds again for it as an LPL team. So now top esports are our only hope for the LPL, and yeah. I made that tweet, Azale. I made that tweet. I made that tweet, Azale. It was me that was saying that was the worry.
Looking stellar at it. You know, even the throwbacks to like the LeBlanc, which to me, every time Faker locks LeBlanc, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Let's go. It's still all there, all that legacy champion pool as well. And I think it's definitely interesting if you contrast it to players like Jackulov, right?
Should be getting pretty close to walkouts now. Wait, is it the walkouts? No, it's walkouts at 0 time and not before that. That's what the bloody timer is. The timer at the top is basically how much time they have on desk.
Came right back a million times over.
Yeah, I mean, like in all this discussion, Faker also won the title on his first go, right? So, and he is consistently...
Yep, Faker won it at his first time, and he was the best player in the world when he did it, which is insane.
I think the big thing to me is
no lower bracket for this Worlds? No, lower bracket is just not at Worlds. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they will add it. I think there's power in the simplicity of single elimination for marketing purposes. Even though I personally think that double elimination adds a lot more entertainment because of the amount of more even matchups between top teams. LPL downfall is today. The LPL downfall has been a slow but insidious killer over the last couple of years. Yeah, no surprise, T1 fans.
I always talk about, it's always T1. But even for T1 standards, this is a little silly. That's outrageous. Normally we stay to like maybe 75.
I think this is a combination of like...
But also like top esports fans are probably voting against their team too, because like, folks, we know our team. Top esports, the thing is, top esports did win an elimination best of 5, but now they're against T1 at Worlds. I don't know, man. Even the Chinese fans don't have like a crazy amount of belief in top esports, which is a bit sad, but you know.
One of them, but you can see it kind of reflects how a lot of people want to give it to T1, but there's still that idea of TES has...
does anyone believe... Wait, Dagda and Dracos both going top esports? Wait, the entire LPL broadcast crew going for top esports? I appreciate the belief. The one-man army Kanavi. Yeah, I think for top esports to win, they need a winning bot lane. And they also need...
I have yet to bet against this T1 team at Worlds over the past few years, and...
Not gonna start now.
No.
I'm gonna have faith in TES to show the level of gameplay that they've both shown thus far and that they've shown domestically.
Did I change
That's
all of
why
my
I'm voting
titles?
for
I think I
3-2,
did.
because
Yep.
I trust T1 blindly when it comes to winning, but for me, as the players themselves have said, as we heard Jackie Love say, all they want to do...
Hung needs to show up and not randomly have anything moments as top Esports win point, weak point. Yeah, for sure. I think Hung has been very weak, and I think that Hung has, Cream has also had moments of weakness. Hey, John, how's it going?
You know, actually, I kind of changed my mind. I was thinking about it more. I feel like TES could actually win, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
There's 5 key things that we're going to have to focus on here. So they're going to have to play with no fear. That's not a problem when you have Jackie Love on your team.
Well, so funnily enough, when he mentions that, Jackie Love has actually been one of the more mentally unstable players on top Esports. So, well, I know it's a joke, but like, I have to say, actually, Jackie Love has actually been one of the... Yeah. He's going to say Faker. It's going to be Faker. He's going to spell out Faker with 5 different things.
You need to be able to make the right choices at the right moment. You're also going to need to have killer instinct when the mistakes are made by T1, and they will.
Speaking while writing like that is genuinely quite hard, by the way. Speaking something different to what you're writing, I don't know. I struggle with that. Often, if I'm speaking and typing, I'll type what I'm speaking accidentally.
You got to be able to make it happen and crush in those plays. Okay. And the last thing is you're going to have resilience, okay? Of course.
Right, so you need to have Faker. Right.
Throughout this series when things get tough. But sometimes, though I think if they can pull off these 5 things, sometimes simplicity is better.
It's true.
Sometimes you really just have to focus on one key fact. One key thing in a series. And that's
very good, Azelle. Very good.
T1's gonna take it, of course. It's the GOAT. He's too clutch.
I love it. This was wonderful.
I swear to God, if top Esports actually win now, what the hell's the what the hell are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, folks?
I can't believe, because when I came into the LCK, there was always this talk about Faker, right? About what he was able to do.
Sorry, I just realized I should have turned that up really. Hopefully that makes it a little bit more.
We had Chovy, but here we are 3 years later, and guess what? We're going to another semifinal. He's here again.
Yeah.
And they're the favorites.
Ever since they lost in 2022 in those grand finals, they have taken it as a personal badge of honor to run it back and win, again. And they have another chance to get to the grand finals today for T1. But it is 12 years of defeat for the LPL in best of 5s at Worlds at the hands of Faker. And top Esports, they are the chosen ones. It is Jackie Love who takes that chance and gets this chance to take revenge for all of the LPL. It's going to be one for the books. T1 versus top.
Okay, let's see how good this teaser is. I haven't seen the teaser yet because this is my first time seeing it. Remember that they record these like before the semi-final, well, before the quarterfinals and stuff. I need to. The seasons. Legends never die in the background. Very cool. Sorry, Rise, not Legends never die. Rise. No, it is Legends never die. Oh, I'm getting my head. Oh, Jackie Love. It could be his last dance, folks.
去年输给 T1 之后，感觉就是差距比我想象中的更大一点，还是很失落的。
每次世界赛
369's been eliminated by T1 a bunch of times now.
因为有飞快选手的存在。对我来说，这一次会不一样的。
Or maybe I'm just really bad at telling songs, folks. Oh my god, Rise mentioned.
输了的时候就要想着下次有机会一定要赢回来。我会努力抓住每一波机会。
They haven't done any T1 content yet in this teaser, so they're going to probably end off with all the mic drop moments from T1. and let them aura farm some more. Hey, Crafting, good to see you.
于青山中扎根，任由风打。Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name?
I would have also liked Top Esports to have a chance to aura farm as well. We'll see how they... Sam's on holiday, I agree. We talked about this yesterday. Maybe you missed it, but he's on holiday.
실전에서도 좀 자신감이 없는 상황이었었던 것 같습니다. 제가 월즈 리핏을 이뤄내고 바로 다음 해 교체 기용을 당한 거에 대해서 힘들었었던 것 같고.
Yeah, Guma got subbed out for Smash earlier this year.
한편으로는
That was a whole thing.
세계에서 가장 대단한 선수인 페이커 선수도 그런 일이 있었기 때문에 저도 이 시기를 잘
Well, he didn't do after. That wasn't after winning Worlds. That was in Season 5 when the teams kind of were combined, right? Oh, hang on, wait, did that happen? I suppose that happened later into his career too.
서 있는 게 가장 높은 대나무를 보는 것 같습니다.
T1이 없다면 유산도 없습니다. 유산을 가지고 싶다면 저희를 넘어야 할 겁니다.
There's the aura farm moment. Have they got Top Esports a chance to aura farm or not? Does Top Esports get a chance to aura farm? I hope they give a chance for Jackie Love to have his moment here. Come on. They did this for BDD and Chovy for the last teaser. Come on, Jackie. I want it for Jackie Love, I do. Shilin. That's LNG's logo, by the way. That's the Mythical Beast, which their logo is based off of. Oh, they got the reflection in the eyes and everything. Now, the interesting thing about this is that it was Rise was the song when Jackie Love won Worlds for the first time. I want it for Kanavi. Yeah, for sure. Kanavi, one of the greatest junglers of all time. He'd deserve it too. Yeah. Not gonna lie, there was obviously a lot of T1 content in here. The way that you gotta view these, you often view the teasers, if you start with one team, they're often saving the mic drop for the second team that ends up getting to speak, really. And obviously, like T1, they have so many big narratives and big players and personalities that have been built up and marketed very well. Often, it's very easy to give them the mic drop moments and stuff. So it is great content. You know, it's very hard to have a bad T1 mic drop.
We're here at the
Oh, they didn't let us. Either that's a mistime, or he didn't quite, or they didn't bring in the mic at the right time, because they cut off the start of his sentence.
Next week, will it be the back-to-back reigning world champions, Korea's T1, or will it be the last remaining Chinese team here in Shanghai with the LPL's Top Esports? I'm Captain Flowers here with Dagda and Vedius as we all find the answer to that question here today.
Top Esports trying to do what no other LPL team has done before.
Beat T1 at Worlds.
Whereas T1 trying to do what no other team in the world has achieved in getting that three-peat for the title. And it sits there, all eyes on the trophy.
Expectations are that T1 will continue their legacy.
an LEC LCS blend on the cast.
We've already seen at this year's World Championship that expectations can be defied. And today, that responsibility falls on the shoulders of Top Esports as they go up against the Titans of T1.
And a Titan was already slain yesterday in the first
Genji beaten by KT. I mean, a Telecom War for finals would be absolutely insane. Hey, Off the Grid, how's it going? It would be very funny to have Top Esports versus KT for just how the hell did they get here kind of moment, you know? Kanavi trying to avenge JDG 2023 as well, the super team that, you know, I have to say, there was, I was speaking on Twitter the other day and someone was like, oh, but, you know, if you want to talk about choking, got to talk about Kanavi in 2023. People forget that Kanavi carried one of the games in that series versus T1 at Worlds 23. That Vi game he had was incredibly good in that series earlier on. His Bel'Veth, of course, the last play from him, the Bel'Veth walking up a dragon, was really bad, but people only remember that because it was the last play, and they don't remember the rest of the series. Because it's easy to remember the last play, it's harder to remember the context of what came before it. And also, Kanavi destroyed them at MSI that year as well. I want Top Esports to win, I do, but I just don't think it can happen very easily, no. They need Prio bot lane, which is very hard versus Gumakeria, who are they're probably the best Prio bot lane of all time. Hey John, how's it going?
The man that just made fun of Skumon in the jungle, the man that I feel that continues to run the rift for Top Esports, and the man that can build those leads.
Yeah, Kanavi is the one-man army. I mean, look, T1 come in heavy favorites. Realistically, I think a lot of people will be expecting a T1 like 3-0, realistically. Because it's T1 at Worlds, it's T1 versus the LPL. Top Esports for famous international chokers. T1 won the coin toss as well, so they're starting on blue side. Yeah, 369 on 23 JDG as well, for sure. Yeah, Kanavi and 369, both from that team. Yeah, I think, okay, so Cream has been playing a lot more, sorry, I got to sense down just a tiny bit. I hear my thoughts more. Genji was the heavy favorites yesterday. They were, yeah, they were, for sure. Stranger things have happened at points. Yeah, T1 should, I think a lot of people will be expecting T1 3-0, basically. Okay, so Orianna is still up. All of the choice junglers are still up. You still have stuff like Corki, Alistair. You have Sion Trundle. Sounds banned actually on red side. So you don't need to Trundle now or anything like that. Because if Sion and Trundle are both available, then the draft gets quite messy.
But the question is, will Top Esports allow them to have it? Rumble may very well be the ban on the side of Top Esports if something like the Ambassador is something that they're eyeing up.
Yeah, I think it's very telling essentially what this last
Bard for Carrier. Right, okay. No surprise there. Ahung is not a great Bard, so you can't do like Kyle did and take the Bard against him. So you get the Orianna. I guess Creeb is probably thinking about a Kali-Orianna matchup is pretty fine. That being said, I think the guy's insane. Wukong was perma-banned the other series, by the way. I think you can do something like Wukong Rakan, actually. It's a very strong jungle support duo.
Absolutely. Wukong plus Akali could be an incredibly viable combination.
And they lock in the Akali immediately. All right, Cream Akali. One of the best Akali players in the world.
And they're going to secure it for themselves. Owner will respond with the Xin of his own. A big comfort pick for him and another comfort for T1 as the Varus is
okay, so you're looking for real lane prio and bot side and lane control. Now the problem is, well, AL, I think they got outdrafted by T1 because they drafted a lot of losing lanes against T1.
I have to imagine that the Ambessa will now be higher in priority. Top Esports going for a lot of
ooh, Ziggs is pretty good here, actually. Yeah, I like the Ziggs here. And then you can ban away some of the tankier champions from top lane. Sivir instead. Alright, so they don't go towards the Ziggs, because you could have gone towards Ziggs and then ban away some of the tanks which can shrug off the Ziggs poke. So Sivir's pretty good versus Varus. And Jackalow is an incredibly good Sivir as well. This guy's very good. Akali game 1 might be cooked. No, I mean, it's Cream's Akali, it's good. Cream's Akali is Cream going towards melees is a good thing for Top Esports. It's a good thing for them.
It's an Ambessa.
It's an Ambessa angle, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that T1 will read the play and they'll look to
Okay, so do you ban away someone like Renata? Try and get rid of the Varus Renata because you've got a lot of divers coming in right now. But do we have to pick it for game one? Yeah, into Orianna, it's one of the best matchups into the Orianna. It means that you give over a power pick, but you have an answer. I actually think that's... As soon as we saw the Orianna was up, we were thinking, okay, Orianna, Akali counter. Yeah. T1 can't pick it anyway? Yeah, Akali. I mean, they did play Akali earlier in the tournament, right? They played versus IG. I'm doubting T1 right now. I think T1 are coming in as heavy favorites, so I don't think there's any reason to doubt them. I think that, yeah, I think T1, a lot of people will be expecting, you know, 3-0 for them, realistically. That's the expectations on the table. Top Esports are massive underdogs here. Just because of all of the intangibles from Top Esports. If it was, you know, domestic Top Esports, sure. You have more value, you have more faith in them, but there just hasn't been internationally what's happened for Top Esports, really. 369 Cassante is pretty good. Means that Doran can't exactly go easy tank into tank there either. Now you're thinking about what? Maybe Renekton, I guess, for Doran? Yeah, Renata could be okay here for carrier.
It does mean that they have to rely on
I think, wait, what does Hung go towards last? I suppose it's a support kind of pick.
He's going to be taken here in that top side just to provide that tool.
Okay, right. I was wondering if you go Renekton, but I guess Mordekaiser has been the anti-tank kind of fighter pick in top lane for the tournament.
So T1 heavily reliant on carry on this Rakan to be that main engagement.
Yeah, carrier's got to go creative with the Rakan, but he's very, very good on the pick.
By removing away the Alistar is Leona.
Do you have anything which can fight for prio early from Hung?
Just the safest thing you could go for. Have a little bit more engaged,
suppose,
facilitate and work with the Wukong.
Is it some Nautilus gaming?
Having that single target locked down to
Ban Renekton? Sorry, yes, they ban Renekton.
Yeah, I do like the Nautilus in this sort of situation.
Oh, it's Hung's Karma. Right. I was wondering if it's going to be Karma for lane pro.
I wasn't sure if they wanted to go for an enchanter in either the Lulu or the Karma to try and get that wave push.
Hey, Danny, how's it going, by the way?
Been that speciality
See you.
of Gumayushi on this Varus. And it looks like that's the call. Just go for lane dominance in this bottom side.
Yeah, I think laning power is something which is hugely valued by both these teams.
Snowball into effective dragon control and objective team fights.
Yeah, between the On the Hunt for Jackie Love, the Mantra E there for Hong, there's a lot of AoE speed up available on the side of Top Esports, but the only real true engage is still going to be Kanavi on the Wukong.
And this is why I think the Mordekaiser pick is so valuable, because we've seen before...
One thing which Hung does, by the way, he's very good at aggressively going forwards for the W tether. Very good for that. I gotta go put on like 1 minute of ads just because the pre-roll's starting to run off. So if you don't want to see ads, you can just sub in. And also, by the way, if you'd like to continue... if you'd like to continue supporting the stream, we have a sponsorship for this month. So if you'd like to click the referral link, which is pinned in chat, or just put in chat in general, for Opera GX and download that. It's a free download for a gaming browser, which I've switched over to from Google Chrome. Because honestly, Google Chrome's done, it kind of got on my nerves finally towards the end. And yeah, I've made the switch over now. Keeps all your bookmarks and extensions. It's very cool. And it helps support us as well if you don't download it through the referral link. It helps us keep doing what we're doing.
There's going to be a lot of criticism towards that choice, not only with the
T1 with a rare good draft. I actually think T1 have been, they drafted pretty well versus Senrin's Legend. Like, I think their draft here is really solid. I think they have the one question mark is, oh, they're going for a Taeyin swap. Ah, interesting. They're doing a Taeyin swap.
Runes up on your screen right now. Immediately I'm noticing it's summoner spell.
Well, I guess it is double range versus double range.
However, the Comet over on the side of Top Esports for Hong shows me they
okay. Oh, they're not. They're not. So they show the Cassante, he recalls. They just wanted to make sure it wasn't a swap for swap, I suppose.
Dagda was talking about in draft, wanting to leverage their push to maybe get early rotations to set up for the grubs, or maybe even set their sights on that early dragon in the early game. But before we even dive even deeper into that, I want to look back a little bit at last year, because these two teams are no strangers to one another, and we've got a little bit more time to talk about it, because last year it was a one-sided affair. T1 made fun of Top Esports in convincing fashion with a 3-0 performance, snuffing their hopes out and eliminating them before Top Esports could find any momentum in the playoffs.
Yeah, and even when you looked at that game one, it kind of looked like Top Esports had gotten off to a decent start, but T1 just came alive and were able to dominate the rest of the series.
Oh wait, we straight into a pause? Damn, okay.
Slightly different roster set up in there. You had Mako and you still had TN that were on the team. And now it has been shifting over towards a top esports that aren't really playing towards that same style.
Top esports need to have heavy winning bot lane and Kanavi to get ahead of Owner, but the problem is Owner is a very good Shinzo.
And I think it has given a new identity to this squad, but you are still
Straight into pause though.
T1 that it seems like at Worlds just come alive every single time.
And I want to go back to something that you were talking about during the draft, when we saw the Rakan drafted there for Keria, the importance that is being
Top esports said movement speed. Well, so funnily enough, it was SKT that really succeeded on the Severe Karma back in 2015, 2016. That was one of their massive go-tos.
That we've seen many times before. It didn't seem like he was executing on the same level that we had seen in the past. But then in the series against Anyone's Legend, just a couple of days ago in the quarterfinals, that series that, like you mentioned, Vedius, went the full distance, best of 5. It was Keria who had...
Well, we'll see if they actually have to switch out peripherals or something.
And it's nice to see him...
Because it shouldn't be too long if it's just fixing some settings, but if they actually have to like sort out peripherals, then it's might be a little break.
Expectations for him as a player. And it's always difficult as a T1 player because of the sheer amount of pressure that sits on your shoulders. So it feels like that whenever they return to this environment, to this stage,
okay, let's think about the draft again then. What do we have?
Yeah, I actually was watching an old owner interview earlier today.
Okay, so it's Mordekaiser, Shinzo, Orianna, Varus, Rakan. Comfortable champions for everyone but Doran, really.
Played under these pressure situations. So effectively that it kind of just is our water off a duck's back for them at this stage, and that's why I think you're starting to see when they get into quarterfinals, they like creativity coming back.
I'm guessing Varus has gone for what? I guess Varus has gone for poke.
Again, it feels like they've kind of just settled back.
I don't actually think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can play on hit Varus very easily into the Wukong. Okay, straight back into cool.
The Rift. There's a cool little tidbit for us on the caster desk, because Clayton, so many years ago, you had the iconic call of Faker Shockwave finding them all, and now we have Orianna and Rakan.
Except it was Rakan, it was Wolf's combo.
Look, if I have the time, I'll make sure I credit Rakan as well.
Thank you, Cap. Because you know Wolf has actually been very sad and been on record about how he's actually really upset that it was Faker Shockwave will find them all when it was his Rakan play that found the engage.
Semifinals in 2025. On our screens right now, this bottom lane.
Okay, so yep, Civic Armor, very hard to outpush that as the Rakan. The Rakan doesn't have like wave control himself, and plus he's a lower range champion for auto attacks. Green dropping a couple of CS off the first wave, not unexpected. Oh, 369 starting with a Q, so you can actually push a little bit. Now with Cassante, what you can do is you can choose between starting E to kind of keep your HP bar higher, or starting Q to push a little harder. He's choosing to push a little harder.
That dragon of 5 minutes after you finished all your camps, and you can waddle in for an extra little bit of experience there. So I think that's where top esports are going to be trying to put that focus again.
Just trying to get some poke in. Guma does have teleport, so he can get basically one free reset, right? Ricochet helps you just clear through the wave. Although Jackie actually missed one of the ricochets, not missed one of the ricochets, but one of the minions was too far away to get across the entire wave. So he's lost some wave damage from that. Not that it'll matter too much. Sometimes it does in close lanes, not here. Ooh, Ona? Ooh, so he won't be able to contest for that. Warrior tricks it down as well. So Kanavi actually dropping a camp for once. Now, typically this meta at Worlds has been very much about just full clearing a couple of times. Not really that much interest. Hang on, I think this is a bit... I'm not sure I like this from Kanavi, actually. You could be flipping the game off of it, because it doesn't... Okay, so Ona gets it. Ona smites for it. Ona smites for it. So it basically just means that there is no camp steal. I mean, the actual camps are still up for Kanavi, so he's not like losing available farm, but yeah.
Beautiful steal comes through from Ona.
Yeah, I guess it's technically a secure from Ona, but he's the one that used the smite.
He's very happy with how things have played out. He's now going to path back up towards the top side of the map to secure that.
So that's a little bit annoying. It's not crazy, you know, but you know, I think that just giving those little momentum shift moments over towards T1, very dangerous, because, you know, T1 are coming in as heavy favorites, you know. You don't want to give them the emotional advantage either. Heal for heal. Guess they didn't know it was warded. Maybe not. I thought he would have known, but I suppose he didn't put the ward down late enough for that. Spell shield blown by the Varus E, so the Varus W lands. Not Varus W, the Rakan W lands.
More damage into Carrier here as both sides take a little bit of a beating, but it's Hong, the lowest HP overall. Very fortunate to sidestep that piercing arrow with 3 blight stacks. That one would have taken him down to probably below 100 HP.
Yeah, it just feels like the first round in this bottom lane, though. Both AD carries running that teleport, so should be able to reset and TP back in. Guma going to look to stop Jackie Love there. Having that level up as well means he can put a little bit more pressure down, but still, TP's back in. It should all go back to even Steven in this bottom lane.
Kanavi did skip his wolves in order to get
Top lane's going fine, mid lane's going fine. Kanavi... damn. Holy moly, that's a lot of damage, actually. If that Q3 hits, that is actually a kill on Doran. Holy moly. Close stuff. Well, 369 got the teleport and Doran hasn't yet, so that's why their trades were going well. So he gets to push in. Does it change that much? We might start seeing the swaps across the map on the reset after this. I was wondering whether we'd see one here, actually. I suppose when you've got Civic Army, you want to keep them together. Okay, I don't really think you can do much in a dive there. I mean, you've got the level 6 from the Mordekaiser on that crash. Team Magic mantles a damage? Yes, it is for K'Sante. K'Sante is a resist into damage champion. Kerry is actually on the roam and connecting up with Ona. Hung is getting wards down a bot side because the dragon's up. Kanavi might do. He has flash, he should be okay. The question is if they blow flash. Smite for smite, I guess. Yeah, so Ona gets that. Not bad from Cream. Very good from Cream. Very good from Cream. Very good from Cream. Nice. Very well played. Cream Akali, man. Very, very good. Nothing more than that, but they get the one. And Kanavi gets the kill. Importantly, Kanavi gets the kill. Kanavi can get a camp steal down here, maybe. They need to shove in midwave to secure the Raptors as well. And now Kanavi is well on the board. He has a kill. He's going to get extra camp up. Nice. Very good from Cream. Great flash over the shockwave. I'm glad that Cream doesn't, you know, second guess himself there. Does he get bot scuttle as well? You might give up Dragon for this, but that means just that Kanavi is very happy with his place in the game. Because realistically, you need Kanavi to be a huge force if Top Esports are going to win this series. Great double flash. Great double flash. Awesome. Because initially I was thinking, well, you know, Carrier gets linked up with Ona first. That's a good play for them.
Exactly, Kanavi on his initial invade trying
to steal away the red. By my eyes, Kanavi was the best jungler in the world heading into this event.
Then it feels like he's behind in the pace of the game, but then the invade from T1 to try to punish that lack of pace ultimately.
This is one of the more interesting early level 1 jungle pathing games that we've seen so far this championship, actually.
Here with that first kill, and Kanavi has the gold lead in the jungle since he was the one who got the kill credit for it.
Now track these lane assignments. Already Top Esports looking to move their pieces around the board. Cream has been sent to the bot side of the map with that Hextech alternator. It looks like he's going to be matching up against Doran. Not a very favorable matchup for the Akali, but this early on she does still have some great trading.
Yeah, at this point it's fine. And Doran's also built his armor boots, so it doesn't really do that much against the Akali. So next time the Akali has ult up, there is actually kill threat there. And it's not like the Poke Varus is going to be doing crazy amounts versus the K'Sante right now either.
Is better set up around, hey, let's try and stack some of these early objectives and then being able to draw T1 in towards these fights and maybe look for some of these cross maps. But with the early lead that they managed to pick up on towards Cream and Kanavi, and that level 6 just being hit for Kanavi, maybe they feel like they can actually fight as Cream starts to move.
Yeah, Cream going to make that early rotation up towards these Void Grubs. And because Doran's teleport timer is pretty desync from 369, there's still half the cooldown remaining on that teleport. The Mordekaiser.
So they get onto the Grubs first too. Mordekaiser's getting some individual plates though. We'll see how many he gets. Maybe 2.
They can have 369 TP to bottom lane if they want.
Dragon hasn't been taken yet either.
They did sacrifice away.
One of the things about Carrier moving to join Ona so quickly is that they were going for the farm advantage for Ona and to get Kanavi behind a little bit. But while that was happening, Hung was warding out the bot side of the map to give them some platform to play around the Dragon if it came up. Because the pink ward on Dragon, I believe, is Hung's. One of those two in bot river.
Although the early game went a little awry, being able to now find these moments to get Void Groves when, in theory, Cream should have.
So it was just the one play for Doran, didn't get to.
Really, really nice. You can continue to keep up pressure through 369 as well in the Mordekaiser matchup. And Jackie Love
Owner's one of the best smiters? Don't you mean Gumi Yusi's one of the best smiters?
Going to be on Owner to see how he can get involved in some of these lanes to start to get some advantages for their side laners.
One of the good things about 369 is that he can just kind of build full magic resist in this game. Even the Varus is a lot of magic damage because of his stacks. Okay, is Owner gonna get spotted here? Okay, he's safe. He's got all in his W. No, you can't do anything against a extensor here. Realistically, what you're doing is you're just hoping that Owner can get ahead of Kanavi. He's 2 camps ahead right now.
We mentioned earlier how
You're trading for Faker.
a difficult champion to dive there in the top lane. Kazante is in the same caliber. You've got to have the guarantee that you're going to get the kill because of how easy it is to turn around. So they'll happily just take away the Gromp, get a little bit of extra money. It's another reset to pick up the Caulfield's Warhammer there for Owner. As you can see, he is still slightly ahead in terms of pace, at least with the jungle treats there.
Faker's trading very well here, but he's running out of mana, so I don't think he can do a full kill. He's going Roa. Orianna, by the way. I guess they're a very dive-heavy team, but...
Just a fun fact about this mid lane matchup, Faker maxing the Q over the W. Sometimes we see that shift between Oriannas, but given how low he is on mana, having that extra Q damage really helps facilitate him, put that poke down onto the Akali in those shorter trades. He is very low on mana.
He's got 0 AP right now. You know, he's got a Dark Seal on Doran's ring, so it's not like he's got that much damage. It's always base. It's just basically all base damage.
Components very close to completing that first item, and as I say that, Jackie Love will complete the Essence Reaver, TP back into mid, and now Top Esports will have
I mean, if I'm Top Esports, I'm pretty happy with how this has gone so far. 3 grubs. A little bit behind in farm in jungle, but it's nothing crazy. Doran's not crazy far ahead of the top lane matchup, which you can get, and even in early game, the Mordekaiser can be a big problem.
And use these pushing waves to establish themselves further in river.
Akali feels happy that she's sole magic damage. And Top Esports, I don't think they you know, typically AD carries don't care if they've got other physical damage on the team because they get, Kanavi will go for Black Cleaver at some point in his build, you know, and Jackie Love can go towards pen items, which are more than fine, right?
AP champions, that always feels very good when you go for an early Kaenic Rookern to be able to endure so much of that hurt, be able to have much better, shorter trades. As Top Esports continue just aggroing the Dragon, you saw them initially do that just to have it hit Carrier a little bit, but now that even he's not here, they're continuing to try to look for the chance to take this. It's really
long time starting this Dragon. I don't think anyone wants to lose any farming time. I think both junglers realize that jungle advantage is really important. You can see that Owner has the XP lead, which is kind of big. Fighting for stuff like these Scuttle Cries to give an extra camp over to Kanavi, who's behind, is quite important here.
They're more than happy to let it scale. And I think with that crab take, Kanavi should have just ticked over towards his Triforce. So unless T1 can find a pick before
Triforce on that back. Okay, so now Kanavi is online. Kanavi is online. Not that Shinzo isn't online too, but...
we're definitely heading towards that number.
About a 10 CS lead built up by Faker over the last wave or two. It's kind of big for him.
They kind of fight with Faker for that mid control. Varus has to be careful, but he's pretty safe to push out that bot wave. Now it is T1's turn to take control.
Kanavi choosing to go towards bot camp so he can be there for a Dragon fight if he wants to. He could have gone towards his top camps and gone for a full clear. I suppose he feels like if they're taking Dragon, now's the time to take his own bot camps. I don't know. I mean, there's a shockwave in the choke point. I don't think there's much here. There's not much to be found here. Should have just stayed in your lanes, really. Whatever, give over Dragon. It's fine.
Can't get any sort of a punish, and T1 just kind of walk away with a Drake for free.
A nice timing window there by T1, so they knew that Kanavi had reset for...
Well, I think Top Esports also knew this was happening, where they're like, we're going for the resets. We know we don't want to fight just yet. We're not at, you know, 1-2 items. T1 have pressure in mid lane because Faker's been pushing out well. Realistically, Top Esports want to fight around, you know, I guess 1-2 items. 2 items is probably where they peak. No, not where they peak, but that's where they start to really come online compared to T1.
A slower team fight orientated game. And I think that
369, hang on, 369's picked up a load of gold from the last couple of minutes too. Is he getting 2 plays from this? Damn. 369's very happy with that. He gets into double AP solo laners, he gets to stack MR. Merc treads are super important for him too, because it means he can shrug off stuff like the Varus ult even if it hits him without W up.
They like to play the map, and that's just kind of a given when you've got Kanavi as a jungler. That very methodical type of approach to the game, very much playing towards his
Cream has Proto Belt, which makes it much easier for him to close the distance onto the backline.
He's looking to hover around top. He's cautious of that Rakan roam.
Man, if Cream makes it to a World Finals, that would be absolutely insane. Now, this is a guy that had such a history on OMG of being a fun but kind of limited player. Hang on, Shockwave hits. Hits the E. I don't think this is a full kill though, no? So it's ult for ult, Faker out of lane. Doesn't have teleport, so he's going to be behind on the map. That's the only thing which matters. It's not like Cream uses a summon or anything. Spell shield? What about catch-up XP in pro play? Did you see the Nuno explanation video by a coach a few weeks ago that showcased how ridiculous it is? It's not as bad as it used to be. I haven't seen the numbers on it recently though. Why is even half a level XP lead in jungle so significant in pro? Because while you have that half a level lead, if you fight at level 10, like level 9 to level 8 or something like that, the stats and the skill point difference is so big that you can just bully out the enemy jungler from one side of the rift.
In the area when that Orianna is playing into the Akali specifically. Hung working with Jackie Love as the heal.
Ow.
That's a chunk of damage.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, Gumavarus, it hurts, using his own skin as well.
Using the chains of corruption, making Hong flash away or face certain doom.
Now that's something which you can punish now. A good Shockwave, a good Rakan combo can catch out support. So predictions for today, I think it should be like T1 3-1 realistically. I think T1 have huge mantle advantage. I think Carry is on very good form and Hung has been mixed. T1 coming in as heavy favorites. Jackie Love spell shielding well, which gives you sustain, of course. If you consistently spell shield on Sivir, you feel very happy. Casticus? Well, look, I want top esports to win because I want LPL to see some success, you know. It's been very rough casting the LPL and seeing them get close, but not quite close enough. I'd quite like the LPL to win something. But I just don't think it's against T1 at Worlds. T1 losing this would be more of an upset than KT beating Gen G. I mean, weirdly, I can see the angle for that, because while KT had beaten Gen G regionally, so there was some precedent for that. There is no precedent for LPL beating T1 at Worlds. They've gotten close, but never close enough. Fake still has flash. Okay, pulling out the again. This is half HP for half HP, ult for ult again. I think this very much favors the Akali, as long as the Orianna... Hang on, can they... I don't think you can kill here, no? Can you? I don't know about this. Get the teleport out defensively. Rakan's coming up, has flash, but Kanavi does too. So actually slight win for top esports because they get the extra teleport out from Doran.
Top esports now starting to get a little bit more active on the map, setting their sights onto Faker, but he weathers the pressure well. T1 there to support him when he needs it. Doran now taking over the top.
Keeping the shockwave down is nice. Yes, for sure. I think keeping the shockwave down is nice. It also means that Cream can kind of force the Orianna to not be just perma wave clear and shoving. If you're all inning at full HP, I think it favors the Akali pretty much every time.
Had all the control that he did in the head-to-head. Now Doran with that first big item, feeling a lot stronger.
Yeah, the plan from top esports.
Okay, so T1 two objectives out of the 3 for first for feats of strength. 10 seconds on Dragon. Gold is dead even across the boards. XP. I mean, Ona has the level 2 ult, which is nice. Very slow role play. I mean, top esports have typically been playing the slow role play pretty well.
We're also seeing the rotation begin from Doran. He's navigating his way around the vision that top esports have set up on the top side of the map, which means that should he find a flank, it means that top esports won't be aware of his position as they get closer to the dragon spawning, which, for the record, should be happening in mere moments. T1 with great position around that neutral objective again.
Okay, we buffering.
And considering how slow they want to play this game, T1 have been very happy.
I've run out of my first Red Bull of the day already. Oh, come on, stream. Well, whatever. I guess it's the right time for it to happen during the pause. Come on.
With how things have been panning out.
Yep, I have been informed that this is really
boring game.
To see a larger investment towards a team fight from both sides.
Well, this is what you expect coming from top esports. Well, not all the time, but it's not unexpected to see this from top esports, who are a bit more of a slow roll team.
I don't even know if we're going to get it here.
I don't think
I think this game being a bit slower, I think it does favor top esports. It's not like the Varus Oriana have done tons in laning phase. I know it's against the Civic Armor, but yeah. Hey, enjoying. How's it going?
Cream does have his available, but lacking that key engage tool for Kanavi really makes this fight difficult. And I think
so stressed about the series? Who are you stressed for, Ruby? Who are you stressed for?
And for top esports, you have to find a way to try and break that bunker, but it's just so difficult with no Kanavi out.
I like that. If this was game 5, this would be very tense. But because we're in game 1, it feels like that the tension hasn't quite set in. But we are ultimately building towards what could be the first fight and the defining fight of the entire game. If a single team can find a large enough lead in this fight that we're hoping to see soon, it could very well be the key that snowballs either comp.
I mean, I feel like we see this a lot, and I feel like we see it a lot.
Slow start to the day, yeah.
Where teams are just testing the waters a little bit, getting a feel for what the other side's going to do, and you do get this very slow-paced type of a game that only has 1 or 2 big fights like you're talking about, but that just means the pressure is that much higher. If you're saying it's not going to be a 10-fight
5 stars on the jacket.
Play the one fight correct.
Kind of crazy that Faker's done it 5 times over the course of a decade. More than that, actually. 11 years.
But as we've entered this mid-game, I do think that T1's lane assignments have just been that much better. They've leveraged the strength of Oriana.
I need the LPL to win, so I'm scared for top esports. That's fair. I'm very surprised that T1 fans are not seeing themselves as, you know, heavy favorites. I know that like T1 are not as confident as they were in some. This has been one of T1's weaker years, right? But I don't see how you can view top esports as anything but underdogs, but specifically just because it's LPL versus T1. LPL teams just can't get it done versus T1. I just want the Faker 3-peat. They can lose every year afterwards. Well, yeah. I mean, it would be a historic achievement. It would be, but yeah.
Been able to take the bot tower and get any more out of the play for themselves as well. So they're constantly keeping all these moves in check, and I think that's where top esports are struggling to really break them open. And as we start to move forward into this, again, you've got no ultimate for the Wukong.
Oh, I should get myself another drink while we're on this pause.
They start to get towards those feats. That's when it starts to become a little bit more difficult for TES again.
And Doran, to me, will be the difference maker in these fights. Because as we've discussed at length, the engage is quite not as clear-cut as we would traditionally see with something like an Ornn or a Rel or a Nautilus, because Kanavi will need to not only find a flank, but he will be the key threat on the backline that Cream will be relying on to find access on the Akali. Meanwhile, Jackulov and Hung will be working together to deal with whatever threat is coming their way, and Faker's Shockwave that's going to be ever-present in the team fight. So
we finally back in? Nice, cool.
In these fights to turn it into a 4v4 for T1.
Okay, so Dragon first, well, second Dragon of the game, potentially fought over. I don't know if top esports. I don't think top esports should be fighting this at all.
The bottom of your screens, Kanavi does not have his ultimate up and available. It is still a little bit away, which is why top esports there didn't really want.
And I think Kanavi not having level 11 yet dissuades them to. Cassandra gets to shove on top side.
It's exactly what we were talking about back in the draft. Kanavi is the engage. Yes, you get the extra speed, you get the extra lane.
I actually think in a lot of ways, weirdly, I think Cream is the engage on the flank. Well, you need to kind of go in at the same time. And Kanavi on his own is not enough to threaten T1, but a flank from a solo laner definitely hurts. Okay, T1 with 2 dragons, they should feel happy about that now.
T1 is doing a great job of protecting Faker. They refuse to leave this Oriana isolated because that is
trying to, do you stay around for Raptor Steel? I suppose you do.
But it's the only target you can really go for, right? Guma just sits in mid waves, shoots down the wave in one go, and is like, all right, well, you're not getting anywhere close to me. Doran is just.
I guess you could just say the same about the Sivir, though, when you say, well, you know, just insta wave clip from the Sivir is a thing too.
It's really difficult to find plays anywhere on the map.
And Rakan Q is so much healing at max rank. I know it's not max rank yet, but you know.
And they're slowly getting to whittle away at some of these turrets as well. So for top esports, it needs to be better map play. Getting to the objective first, forcing T1 to actually try and brute force their way in with a lack of vision that opens up these flank opportunities for Kanavi.
369's got to be pretty close towards the Jack show.
Esports' map play did earn them those first 3 grubs of the game that we saw back at the start of things, but the 3 neutral objectives since then have gone the way of T1. They have the feat of monster slaying. We're still only 1 kill in 19 and a half.
That's true. Yeah. The feat of monster slaying. So first turret for T1 would do it, or next 2 kills, next 3 kills for them.
Damage onto the turrets in the side lanes for both squads, so that means
Cream's at a decent point in power. He's got Proto Bolt and Tier 2 boots.
The funny thing to me is that we're only at 16 petals for the whole game. 14, my mistake. 8 plus, well, now 7 as the Otacon 10 seconds away.
All right, Otacon topside in this one. There's also still the Rift Herald.
Okay, so you don't have 2 items for... Once you get Jackie Love at 2 items, you're very, very happy with the Infurge. It's not like there's a super tank on the other side, so if you go towards Ricochet DPS, it will shred pretty much everyone. Owner is very strong. It's not bad from 369. We might actually get an all-out soon. Maybe. Not sure.
369 just continues being what this top lane battle always is.
If the Otacon is started up, you need to be a little careful. There's a nice
Jack Show really helps you, because once you get the Jack Show up, it does give you the tons of resist, which gives you a lot of damage, of course. Good spell shield.
TP now towards the mid lane, trying to keep this mid tower safe.
Exactly. They summoned up the Herald. The Herald should guarantee that you're going to be able to at least get the first turret, but it looks like someone up in mid lane, it cannot guarantee that much damage.
Yeah, it's not going to get crazy amount. It'll take it down below half HP. What that means is that when it comes through into the objective play later, if top Esports leave mid lane unattended, then it's basically one wave and dead. Well, top Esports have the 3 grubs, I suppose, so it's harder for that to happen. I think the slow game largely favors top Esports. I think T1 throw hands very well in skirmishes, and I actually think top Esports are a team from the LPL which should be playing slower. Nice. Good chunk. Again. Just happy to keep Faker not pushing his lane. This time he doesn't get the shockwave though. It's a level 2 ult from Akali. Now this is maybe a dead Cream, maybe. Oh my god, the CC! Good flash away. Oh, the slow was nuts there. Okay, this is getting a bit rough now. Because if you lose enough there, then Otacon goes down, you know?
Kanavi on low HP and Akali with no ult. Maybe that's an Otacon area that T1 are looking at.
T1 are controlling this
Akali
so well.
Well, I would actually say that it's top Esports controlling the Orianna so well. I think that Cream is happy to trade his ult for HP on Faker. I would actually take the opposite approach. I think Cream is doing completely fine in terms of gold is behind a decent amount of CS, but that's because it was dropped for Jackie Love because they traded some waves about the place and 369. I think as long as Faker is not just perma shoving, you're trading ult for ult, I think that's fine for top Esports. Right there, of course, doesn't work out.
It's Doran versus Cream in the bottom lane right now, but the important thing to make note of is that Doran has his teleport.
Is Atlas done with worlds? He did say he was on a plane, so maybe he is. I don't think he like definitively said it, but he said he was on a Oh, Siverol. Oh, Jackie! That's very far forward, friends. Don't love that, Jackie. Don't love that. That's a bad summoner to give up. So now you might lose mid lane turret. Shockwave's back up. They don't have any grubs, so I guess it's harder for them to do that. Dragon's up now. You can't lose your summoners like that, Jackie. I just don't get why he's playing around that choke point like that. So that's probably sole point now. I don't think you can do much about that. Does Kanavi have to look for a steal? Oh man. That's a bad summoner to give up. Jackie losing his HP and flash there is not great.
I mean, immaculate control coming through from T1. Top Esports on the other side might be able to secure first tower for themselves.
Yeah, they do get first tower. I mean, Cloud Soul in this game, I mean, it's pretty big, but yeah.
Now the question is, gentlemen, will in this game we reach 3 kills? Because so far, 24 minutes in, we're at, I don't even know what the division is, but I'm telling you the kills per minute is awfully low.
It's not looking
pretty low.
It's not great. Yeah, yeah. Whoever got the pickums for Kanavi First Blood, though, at least somewhat happy with things. Maybe not with how this game state is going. As T1.
Who got feet? No one has feats yet. Top Esports got first tower. T1 have got the objectives, and that's first to 3 kills get the feats. We still don't have feats yet. 24 minutes.
And this is kind of the why some of these
T1 doesn't have that many Cloud Soul users. Doran's pretty huge for it. Mordekaiser's pretty big. And yes, taking it away from Top Esports is worthwhile too.
Top Esports back. Gumayushi on this Varus has been such a staple for T1, and now en masse they group mid.
But like the should be safe. I mean, he's extended over 2 items. Jackie losing that flash on top side, that was kind of a bit of a pressure valve breaking there, or the dam breaking, I suppose.
They get what they came for, and they don't want to stick around for anything more.
And all the while, I want to
because typically the slow players worked for Top Esports, but a little bit of ill discipline there. And this is one of the issues, right, with trying to play against the Team Worlds. T1, in the highest level of pressure moments, they won't be ill disciplined, whereas Top Esports will be.
Nope, they're not going to do anything about it right now.
Yeah, and it feels like this game is a bit of a metaphor for how the Top Esports and the LPL has played against them. They keep trying to take them down, but unable to do so. But now Top Esports forcing this Adakan. The TP has come out. They're going to start to slowly back away.
Okay, so forcing T1 to answer top side. I mean, Jackie no flash still. That is worrying. Doran can just ult Kanavi out. Can they kill Doran? That's not bad. Who's in the pit? Who's in there with him? Who's in there with him? It's Kanavi. Kanavi loses to the Mordekaiser. He loses. Oh my god, why did you start this against the Mordekaiser? 369 is not. This is just doomed. Swear to God. Well, it's not bad from Cream, but that's how to come. That's the game, folks. Legitimately, that's the game. But like, so much of this comes from Jackie Love losing his flash and then losing mid lane turret off of it. This is the ill discipline I was talking about. Kanavi, I don't know. I don't get what he's going for this engage here. I mean, I understand going towards the Mordekaiser, but they don't perma-CC him. I actually think that what Kanavi should have done is E-ult, W so he's invisible so he can't get ulted out. This game's just falling apart now. I don't know. This is so sad to watch. Oh, God. We're watching another year of just LPL completely shitting the bird versus T1. And I get it's good for T1s. It's very dramatic for them. But for those of us who've been following the LPL, it's just heartbreak, man. And this is why, I mean, look, this is why when just before the series, I mean, people's like, oh, you know, T1 obviously going to be struggling because they've not been playing well for this year or whatever. I just think T1 just have this, they have the mental benefit. They are way more mentally resilient than the LPL teams. The LPL teams have not had that kind of mental resilience for years now, really.
Now over 2,000 gold ahead. And my friends, we have 45 seconds left until the Cloud Soul spawns. Hong in some danger here, has to flash away. Carrier ready to go.
And that's, yeah. This game's just falling apart. It's just so easy for T1 to force fights now with Shockwave, Rakan. Not bad from Cream. That's not bad from him. So they get the Varus. Do they have any extra staying power? Cream dies too. Jackie's doing alright. Where's 369? He's not coming in. Hang on a second. That's not awful. Oh, Ona. Oh, damn. And 369 just doesn't teleport in. If 369 teleports in, don't they get an extra 2? Ah, fucking hell, man. Oh, how depressing.
Until the Cloud Soul spawns. Top Esports threw the Hail Mary, and it was so close to looking good, but intercepted at the last second. And now it's T1 with members on the map that will secure the Cloud Soul, although there's a little bit of a spot here. Yeah, looks like Hong might have made a mistake stepping forward.
Well, Mordekaiser's popping off. Hong might live through this bit, but I don't think he survives the exit, does he? Oh, okay, maybe he does. I thought with Hexblade, Doran could just run at him. All out, maybe? Don't know.
With his top laner for the extra damage into 369, the Cassante tries to get away, and he outpaces the Claw to do so. But the entire time, it was Owner on the Drake. There's your MasterCard priceless moment. 29 minutes into the game, T1 got all 4.
So what's the chance of Top Beats was not mental booming after this? I'm not gonna lie, I think they mental boomed after Jackie Love lost his summoners in mid lane. I think they around top jungle.
Shockwave from Faker to burst down the enemy jungler.
This is just not a contest. As soon as Jackie lost his summoner in top jungle, this game just... And now you've lost Cream Akali. That's a good knockup. Yeah. Well, this is going to be a short day. Why do I watch this region? Why have I put thousands of hours into this region? Oh, Jesus. Just give T1 the championship already, man. It doesn't matter. If they qualify for Worlds, T1 just win it, man. It's just written in the stars. Just the hope was that T1 would get drawn to an LCK team. An LCK team would take them out, and then maybe there's a better matchup for the other LPL teams against them. It was just not close. As soon as Jackie, they just mental boomed.
Top Esports happy to take them to the slaughter.
What a game number one, from one kill to game over in 6 minutes. Analysts, T1's looking fierce.
T1 saying one fight is all you get, and if you don't show up, we're gonna take your base, Maurits.
And I am used to LCK games, and now I'm sometimes like, I'm pushing back on the narrative, like, guys, it's not this game really was slow, you know, and it was setting up for a big explosion down the line, but it wasn't because of a lack of attempts, because I think there was actually a lot of tries here from TES to make something happen, but T1 played their game.
Fucking hell, man.
And Isaac, you get this, and if you're in a game and you check someone's elo before you do, and it's your enemy mid laner, and you want to take him down, that's what TES tried over and over and over, but they forgot they have a map to look at.
2019, G2 should have won instead of an LPL team. There are actually some interesting conversations about 2019 Worlds, because G2 smashed SKT. SKT couldn't win against G2. But then G2 couldn't win against the LPL teams, which meant it really was about rock, paper, scissors in the bracket draw.
Meanwhile, you're losing Dragon. Meanwhile, you're losing jungle camps. Meanwhile,
I've said this for years, but yeah, the draw somewhat determined that tournament, and that's not something that can be determined by upper, like a double elimination or something. It's just the draw. The draw's the draw. Okay, I'm gonna go put some adverts on. I'll get myself another drink.
Before the Rift Herald, and it's
okay.
Tiny things that made such a huge difference because the game was so slow, because there were so few fights, and TES just stacked 4 Drakes completely uncontested.
They did, and then of course T1 did, and of course TES had to try and get that Drake, but had to try and get really any objective. And as we take a look at this HyperX Reflex replay, one fight is indeed all they got. Now I understand that they feel under pressure, Mao, but they misplayed this completely.
Yeah, I don't. Why are we going in on the level 15 Mordekaiser with 2 items? You're just not going to be able to kill him before he owes anyone. There are comps that have enough CC that can 100 to 0. This is not one of them. And Doran just walks it off.
And the big thing for me is when we talk about what TES are good at domestically, it is around these objective fight setups, right? So because the game was so close, to see them fumble here is absolutely massive, because you really do only get one chance, especially with the game coming down to such slight back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They had let them get 3 straight dragons, then you flip an Otacon, you lose to the Otacon, they take that, they take Baron, the game is essentially over, and no one had Feet of Warfare yet. The score is 2-1.
That's crazy.
And the game was done, right? Like, that is it. If you're going to play that passive and not force team fights, not contest objectives, you only get one chance.
T1 Baron!
Yeah, the T1 Baron, but it's not. It doesn't even feel like a T1 Baron as... Yeah, the 2 main characters of this game were Faker and Carrier. Faker tanked so many ganks, and if he was in a little 100% kill participation, absolutely crazy on the arena, and if he was even a little bit in danger, you know who was there? Redemption number 1, Redemption number 2, and carry on the backup.
He did. I mean, it's almost, we're like, oh, are we needing a Faker full screen graphic again? Yes! Yes!
I mean, it's so funny to me because there's been so much talk. Every time I see T1 win a game, I think back to the MCOY series and they're like, wait, you can't give him Azir, of course he's going to win with that. Wait, you can't give him Ryze, of course he's going to win with that. I go on Twitter after this game, wait, you can't give him Ori, of course he's going to win with that. What can you give him?
It's crazy. And I think for the side of TES, I think when we look back to yesterday and the upset that happened in terms of KT taking that series over Gen.G, it started where a game where they had rebuttals for everything that Gen.G threw at them. And I think that's where I'm a little bit disappointed in the lack of fight that I saw from TES.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lack of fight, but their plan was to try to get this Akali ahead, right? And they spent so much time trying to do that, it didn't work. That's what this composition was supposed to do. Their execution was not good around it, so now it's back to the drawing board.
What I'm hearing is more threats. You can't try and run this comp, and definitely not if you're trying to stymie Faker. Follow the 5 rules. That is Zale said in the pre-show. We'll see if Top Esports can fight back right after this.
Top Esports looking for something here. It's Doran jumped on immediately. However, he's into the death realm. He's going after Kanavi. He wants to take out the enemy jungler. Top Esports, they're trying to get him away. But as soon as the death realm ends, Carrier's quickness begins. And Top Esports have already lost their jungler. They're about to lose their top laner. 369 wants to go all out. But Gumayushi and T1 are all in. Home trying to escape as Cream's got some fancy acrobatics. But he's not getting anything. T1 out team fight him, and they'll take the Otacon.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance to get.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
Red Bull gives you wings.
So slow.
I told you I was done with basic browsers.
Tell me who's the script writer. I'm gonna settle the score. The ship we were put through Swiss to quarters. Well, I mean, obviously T1 have not looked at their peak, but I don't think it matters now, no? Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's get this over with. Just let me, what was the Dardoc thing? Just pick me whatever. Let me lose in peace. Oh yeah, reminder folks, we do have an Opera GX sponsorship for this month. There's a referral link in chat if you would like to support the channel. It's a free download. If you'd like to just check it out, it means a lot to us. I don't know, folks. I don't think Top Esports can afford to lose a game 1 there. I think they just mental boom. No, I could see it as soon as Jackie lost Flash. As soon as Jackie lost Flash in that top side. They were late to every single objective. Well, they weren't to Atacon. I mean, it was going fine up until Jackie lost Flash. I think in the early game, they can afford to not fight some things, right? Which is why they were waiting until about 2 items, and then I think Cream was actually playing very well. He was actually the best player on the team, Cream. Tracy Snipe was doing pretty well in the 1v1s too. In these next 2 games will be quick. We'll see what drafting looks like. But losing Wukong, losing Cream's Akali, 369 Cassante, it's bad. Losses to Jackalev. Now every single one of those picks for Top Esports is a comfort pick. Losing a draft for 5 comfort pick looks like that, not great.
Sharp and full of vibe. Group shots packed with detail. Zoom in on one face, still flawless. Colors so real, every scene, every smile, unforgettable. Oppo Find X9 series. Hasselblad telephoto. Zoom into detail.
Hi.
Got this old thing and the bill from the store where I got it. Figured you could beat it with a better deal on one of these big boys.
It doesn't work that way.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your 18
Oh, I don't know, man.
for a better deal.
I don't just if LPL loses in the way that they've done to T1 like this again, I just don't know what's going to happen to LPL next year, folks. And like, okay, folks, again, this is not the fault of T1. End of the day, LPL should just be better if they want to win stuff, right? But it's so depressing for LPL fans to see this shit every year. Even when we can do well at MSI or other tournaments, just Worlds is just never. It's just, not never, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been LPL's specialty in a long time now.
So look forward to some mayhem coming.
Can you tell your viewers what the Atakan buff does for newer League viewers? So the buff itself isn't actually that important. The most important thing is it gives you a load of petals which spawn on the ground, and they give you XP and adaptive force. So you'll see the counter on the top of the screen on the scoreboard on the top. Hey, Henji, how's it going? I will get hydrated. But for every 10 petals you have, it's something like 1,500 gold. And what Atakan does is it gives you a bunch of petals based on how many are lying around the map, because it basically collects them all up. And also, it gives you extra 25% bonus for all the petals, which you do have. So what taking Atakan does is it gives you a load of experience and quite a bit of damage as well. Three-one for T1. I don't see Top Esports taking a game if they play like that. This game was so tilting to watch. I think it was fine up until Dracula lost Flash, and then Top Esports collectively lost their heads. Oh, God. I just don't want Top Esports to bomb out like this. Did I still have one little bit of hope, which I didn't know was there? Maybe I did. You know, it's like streamer loses last little bit of hope they didn't know existed. I don't know, man. I mean, it's Telecom War Finals. Yes, it's historic. T1 going for a 3-peat. Yes, it's historic. I'm so depressed after spending 1,000 hours watching LPL this year. Casting, you know, a bunch of games over the last 3 years for them. Oh, it's just... not like this, Top Esports. Not like this. They were losing Dragons too? They were. Yeah, they were. But I think they were happy to trade Dragons for getting closer towards 2 items. That's a cool little stinger.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World Semifinals 2025. It's the last series before we head to Chengdu and the finals next weekend. KT Rolster is already waiting, and either T1 or Top Esports will earn the right to meet them there. Game number 1 was slow for a very long time.
It was slow, but T1 were just way more disciplined. They were way more disciplined. I think Kanavi not getting ahead of Owner early on really hurt Top. Oh, sorry, I've hit the table, which has the camera. There are still games left. Look, if you know Top Esports, you know that they're a mentally fragile team, which is a huge worry.
Do you believe that in game 1 that's true? And I would
His name is Andy.
Okay, I do not believe that a game 1 defines a series, and I'm confident.
I think for Top Esports, I know he has to say that because it's, you know, excitement of the broadcast.
That we're going to be seeing something different as Top Esports move over towards the blue
Yeah,
side.
T1 had side select for game 1. I thought the draft was okay for Top Esports. So Azir is down. In terms of mid lane matchups, you're looking at stuff like Aurora now, the Yone gone as well. Faker doesn't want to play Yone. He's not exactly a great Yone player. I know he has a Yone skin, but he's not. Wait, is he the Yone skin guy?
Kind of what happens with picks like the
Yeah, I actually don't think his Yone is that good.
Game 1, AL versus T1. They were happy to pick
So I don't think he wants to play it. I know he has a damn skin on the champion, but I actually don't think he's a great Yone player.
So I think that's probably where they're going to be eyeing up once again.
Fair, Darren. Fair. I just look. I see the writing on the wall. I've seen this happen to top esports way too many times, man. Oh god. He wasn't bad as his one game last Worlds. That's true. Yeah. Faker does often turn narratives around at Worlds for a single game. Ooh, Kanavi Kiana. He's very good at that.
I'm surprised that they feel the need to first pick it because Ona's like not much of a Kiana play. It's not been as successful.
He's played 2, 1-1, lost 1.
Exactly. So it's not. And there we
Oh,
are.
Rise first pick. Now the thing is, you want to have Rise with Kiana for the point and click. So now what you can do is you can. Well, hope that T1 don't take Kiana for one. Now T1 might have to say, well, we have to go the Kiana to take it away from the Rise, because the mid-jungle duo is too strong to give over the point and click. For that, you get lane prio. Do you just give up the Kiana and say, screw it, we'll get power elsewhere? I think top esports are taking the gamble at T1 don't want to lock Kiana.
Just because if that Kiana comes through, they want to be able to go towards the Pantheon, unless they just consider the Pantheon strong enough to just immediately first pick. But I personally think it's not really in that position with the way the meta is shifted.
You can go Corki here, maybe. Nico Corki's kind of nuts. You know what? I guess you could Caitlyn as well, but I think Corki's the better all-round pick.
But overall at Worlds so far this year, Pantheon has not been a super successful pick. And it looks like for the side of T1, you want to say
instant Kiana slam though. We might actually see a Nocturne on 3 from T1. That could be pretty powerful.
But the thing is, you can also use
Corki Kiana here. So you take the Corki away from the Nico. You get the Kiana alongside the Rise, which I think is very important.
Because we can always shift the Galio top. We have a bunch of picks that can still go in towards this Rise in the mid lane, and it means that
you slam the Kiana here, 100%. I think you really need it. Give Kanavi one of the strongest jungle champions in the world. He's one of the best players of it in the world. Then on 3, really? You're giving up the as in like you're not picking the Kiana. Get banned second round.
I think does make a lot of sense because already T1 have drafted for themselves a lot of dive.
It does take away the ambassador from the Galio, and ambassador Galio is pretty huge. And actually 369's been a pretty good ambassador. Doran doesn't have the Cassante into it. You can Scion. Scion's been passed up here, and I think, well, if you go Scion, your damage is very, very low. Maybe that's what top esports are thinking. And if you lock the Scion, then Trundle has to be, I suppose, either picked or banned after that. No way Doran Camille. Doran is not a Camille player, folks. This actually might be the angle for top esports. To hope that Doran is not a good Camille player. I'm not gonna lie, folks. This actually might be the answer.
It also means that picks
the answer might be that Doran is not a good Camille player. Okay, they ban Alistair. Do they even bother banning Kiana now? Because Kiana against Camille Galio is kind of rough.
Make sure that then as T1 move forward, they can keep up their fights very effectively. You can see these dive threats already being prioritized by top esports with the Vi taken away.
I think Ona might be thinking, I think you need to ban Nocturne here for top esports, don't you? You ban Nocturne, don't you?
No stranger to the champion, absolutely. And there is
I think,
Kiana with the Alistair taken away on the side of
Kanavi could go towards Neferi. That's a point.
That makes a ton of sense from the side of top esports. Question is, do they want to look to get rid of something like the Pantheon? Do they consider it a threat? There's also the possibility of the Jarvan, another great engaged champion that top esports could consider looking to remove.
I think the Nocturne's a huge ban here now.
Is pretty well known. Galio's combo with Jarvan is also
Caitlyn ban, alright.
Very well known, but no.
I suppose you can Kai'Sa for T1, save the jungle matchup for last.
Bottom lane 2v2, so they want to remove the possibility there.
I think you're still happy to go with something like the Kai'Sa though for Gumayushi, so no stress in the grand scheme of things. T1 gonna go back and forth between the
Pantheon gives you another semi-global threat. Your engage range is insane with that. Well, that's the Nocturne we were talking about. Either way, you're looking at a semi-global long-range engage point and click thing. Thank you, Fed. Appreciate you. Can I get a 6-7 emote?
For another kind of pressure point in the draft as an answer to the Kiana.
Okay, so you have Jarvan Camille, Jarvan Galio, all nasty ass combos. I think Neferi for Kanavi looks pretty good here. Neferi looks good. Go Kanavi, Neferi. Probably Leona for Hung.
Does he go to a winning score after this one? As on the top esports side, we still need to see support. We still need to see.
Would have banned Kai'Sa. Yeah, Kai'Sa's better for the combo, but both these teams really value lane pressure, and Caitlyn is very good for Guma, just for yeah.
Leona would provide them with a little bit more.
That's their logic, but I agree. I think Kai'Sa is really scary. Corki Nami's a CFO lane, so now you have good disengage. So if you overdive into the Nami tidal wave, that's pretty big. CFO are playing this lane.
But it does give you a little bit of agency, some disengage tools, but against a lot of dive, it's very
okay, so Guma, I suppose it's Kai'Sa, but I guess you could go something like Lucian. Imagine Guma goes Kai'Sa skin for this Worlds, by the way, after his history on it.
And even the fact that you have the Nico helps to enable you a certain extent in that bottom side of the map and keep you safe because of the Nico poke. But you are up against Corki Nami, which is a very abusive matchup. So we keep our eyes on this.
Kai'Sa Nico is what LPL used to get the Nico through lane. Full dive comp. I mean, top esports get decent disengage. I would have maybe gone Neferi, but you know, Trundle's pretty good at just ulting the first target in. But you're not going to be. My worry is Trundle pops ult and still dies anyway, because no one's that tanky. That's my worry. If T1 wins this series, it means that Doran beats out Zeus and Ruler kind of crazy this year. Well, he didn't face them individually at Worlds, right? But he made it further than them, yeah, for sure.
Game 2 is about ruthless and lethal aggression as they set their sights on the carry of top esports that will have to try and survive the backline threat that is heading their way.
I'm happy if the best team wins. I mean, same. I may have the best quality League of Legends. But I'm worried about LPL and EU if T1 keeps winning. There's a psychology effect if X team is invincible. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I love the best League of Legends, right? However, I'm not blind to the fact that financially, if one team wins everything, then the other teams in the other regions, particularly in the current global economic climate, can struggle to put up the same kind of investment as they did before. I mean, LPL had IG this year with the super team. That was the big kind of bucking of the trend there. And sadly, they didn't make it past play-ins. Nami, yeah, CFO played a lot of the Nami with the Corki.
Icons, capsules, all kinds of cool stuff. But for top esports, the only thing they want to earn is a tied series. After an underwhelming first game, it's T1.
Yeah, top esports lacked discipline in game 1, really.
Both of our supports this time, no summoners spellbooks. Gentlemen, it's about the lane.
Their goal in game 1 was to put pressure onto
yeah, no spellbooks. Good call there, Cap. Good call.
Very comfortably.
Just thinking about the fact we live in a world where Doran, Perfect, Peter, and Doctor will be could be a world champion before Chovy. True. Yeah. That's the way that worlds work sometimes.
Because I think like mid lane is not an easy lane to play for. That Camille is probably your easiest avenue of attack, but you've also drafted yourself a Corki Nami lane that I imagine you want to try and invest some resources.
I think Kanavi just wants to get ahead in jungle matchup. Kanavi just wants to use his winning lanes to get ahead of jungle. Winning jungle matchup is so important.
In the bottom lane, looking for an early trade.
Yeah, I think the way you want to try and play this bottom lane is
if you get Doran, Camille, Guma, Kai'Sa as world skins after their history on the champions, that'd be so funny.
And if you can end up enabling that to close that gap for the Trundle,
not bad damage onto carrier. Got a bit more sustain as the Nami, of course. Start with the W.
That's the way you're going to look to try and chase down this bottom side of the map. If T1 are able to alleviate a lot of that pressure by having Jarvan match or making
okay. Barrier blown, heal blown as well. Really trying to fight for the early prio. Good double Q from carrier.
That's where that T1 can try and keep themselves safe.
I gotta remind myself not to get too emo about the LPL. It's not like I put a bunch of my life into this region to see him crash out at Worlds multiple times.
Worth noting, junglers are starting on opposite sides here in this one too.
In game 1, it really was Faker's story as he really just survived the pressure. Jackie Love.
Nice, Jackie. Maybe don't take the tower shot there, though, friend.
Forced to use the barrier as the tower shot comes through, though. Gets punished for that aggression.
But he does get the flash out of Carrier, and that could be a playmaking opportunity.
But it's playmaking from T1.
Cap's voice seems like it's on its last legs as well, actually. Medic's voice was really struggling. Hang on, this is a good angle from Mona.
Where the hell's the Jarvan? So top esports back away in the bottom side.
Kanavi just full clearing. He skipped Raptors. Did Jackie lose some XP there? I think he did. Okay, sees him get out, so now you can go back to 2v2 brawling.
Win against Trundle in those 1v1s, so Owner's going to walk away.
Great understanding from Top Esports there about the jungle timings from the Jarvan. You can see they had a ward that just died on the Raptors on the top side. Owner never showed, so know that something has to be up. And now it's kind of a reverse of game one, where it was Top Esports to go
Not bad from Doran though.
and start to fall a little bit behind on tempo when it comes to the jungle, and now it's actually Kanavi who has that advantage.
And now this leaves the bot lane very exposed, an opportunity for a gank. Gumiyushi has to invest the ward.
And that saves the early lane a little bit from Gumakari too, because Jackie Hung had to stay away from a bunch of XP.
Spot out where Kanavi was. Owner will see him earlier on the red buff. And now this bot lane should feel safer with that vision to push out that wave underneath the tower as their jungler is on the
Hello, gang from the bar. Well, I hope you have a good time.
Oh, he flashed over the wall. Kanavi flashed over to avoid the vision.
Nice pickup, Dagda. Nice pickup. Come on, Kanavi. Let's get something running. Let's get something rolling. Oh, is it not going to lead to anything? Oh, he gets top bot scuttle, but he's spotted a bot river. I mean, you got to look for something, right? But fuck.
The river does end up spotting him out. The commitment of the flash ends up not paying off. I think
Oh, that sucks for Kanavi, man.
the play away as they try to move up, set up for the corresponding gank. Kanavi.
I mean, this is gonna lead to like, oh, his flash is down, but I had no bubble after.
Flash already spent earlier, and he is not afraid. Nice tangle barb there into the blue.
Doran with a lane swap.
It's actually Jackie Love that takes the worst of the attempt.
And now T1 know Doran, Kanavi has no flash. Yeah, they should know.
The top side, the interrupt, not quite there. Doran trying to get that ward in the brush to give him that extended hook shot.
Okay. So T1's combo is about to come online. They're going to be getting their combo in the next couple of minutes.
They couldn't really find much in the last one, but so many plays already invested in top bot lane.
I'm really afraid that Owner just gets to pull the trigger on someone.
Just trying to hang around here, grab his last little bit of minions. Colossal Smash will pick up that one. As up in the top side, Gumayushi just continues farming on this Kai'Sa. Does have a nice little lead over Jackie Love on the Corki, but there is some extra minions for Jackie to pick up.
Yeah, it should even up as this wave ends up crashing through, and Top Esports.
Oh, we don't get Chicken Jackie. He didn't pick the chicken skin. Chicken Jackie.
We want to avoid this matchup. It is so difficult to play against Scream. Gets the lockdown, can have in the area.
Well, and they both have teleport there. I mean, a lot of hard trades in laning phase for the last year or two have basically just been, I've got teleport, I'm trading my HP for a good reset. It looks scary. Sometimes you misjudge it and you lose flash.
Real Gumayushi and fake Gumayushi, both hanging around, and there's just the power of this Nico, man. Whether this champion is engaging from stealth for a team fight, whether it's checking vision with the clone,
I think Cream made a mistake by not starting tier. Whatever, you know, he's get you get the Seraph second anyway, because you go rower, right? So by the time you've completed your second item, it's pretty much the same.
To find early ganks. I'm impressed that Owner has actually managed to accrue a CS lead, given that early on, sacking one side of the map really should have cost him a lot, but he's been able to bounce back to great efficiency.
It's because you end up seeing that Kanavi used all that time to gank bot lane, attempted to gank top, whereas bot camps have spawned. So now Kanavi behind two camps.
Faker Galio, of course, legendary too.
But that was a big.
Yeah, it's not the Zeka thing where he hasn't, you know, he has actually still bought tier. This is looking, and Galio's moving over. This is a, surely they both die here, no? This is just doomed, no? Do they have a defensive TP? Is there a Realm Warp? They're slow on the move. Cream is, how slow is Cream to this, man? Hung's gonna die to the dunk, yeah. But like, how slow is the Realm Warp, man? That was a fucking year before they pulled that combo.
As they shut down the bottom lane. No room for
oh god, man.
Kanavi spotted that entire time on the dragon, makes the play look smooth as T1 go 2-0 up.
Cream even invested the Realm Warp to try.
But like Cream, if you either leave him out to dry and you push mid, or you Realm Warp early and you join them in the play. You don't do the halfway house of not doing it.
Just cannot do anything. You can see here as we get in towards the play. It's very late.
But like, this is such an easy thing to call out. Faker is pushed and roamed. Where the fuck could he be going? Perhaps onto the crashing wave when you've got under half HP on your support.
To try and escape, but there's so much damage in the early stage of the game. The tanking is spectacular, and there's nothing Top Esports can do to cover.
I don't know. It's a good play from T1, but Top Esports, come on, this is. It's basic stuff, you know, dodging that.
Esports, the last hope of the LPL. We're hoping to see more from them in this game, but given the composition that T1 have drafted, like, I'm still struggling to see their kind of avenue of attack. Okay.
I guess Cream was maybe afraid of getting jumped on in River, but still you have to call the play out, right? And you can't, at that point, just don't roam and push mid.
Like the top esports are kind of forced to just hit the target that's in front of them, but there will be many targets in front of them, and they will be coming from every which way, especially with a Camille and a Kai'Sa at their back, looking to navigate their way through whatever angle they have available to them.
Well, the angle for top esports right now is neutral objectives. They did get the first Drake after the
Got Dragon and they get grubs.
earlier there underneath that tier 1 turret.
This is the kind of game where top esports would really, really like feats of strength, because the extra shield from the defensive boots kind of goes hard. Owners ahead in the individual jungle matchups, even though you picked the Trundle for that, you're behind in that again, partly because of the coordination between Owner and his bot lane was better than Kanavi and Jackie and Hung in the early levels, meaning Owner got access to more farm. Fake has kind of been, just flash out, right? But now you're playing Summoner on Economy. You now have, 3 targets with no flash to play around, which is kind of huge. Jarvan has just so many options for his next ult now. Camille as well, of course.
You're very familiar with junglers expecting attacks as a result of their impact in the game. And in the past, it used to be the QSS tax when playing against Skarner. It's the flash tax when playing against the Jarvan.
That's expensive tax.
Oh, it certainly is, and that's why he is so successful in the latter half of the World Championship. It's so easy for him to walk into a lane, throw that ultimate down as Jackie Love looks for a fight.
Might be flash out of Faker. I don't think you kill, but maybe you do actually. He has flash still. Oh no, he doesn't. I'm so done. He has flash, you can kill. Oh no, he doesn't. Why am I not tracking flashes? I'm so bad at this. What? Okay, that's not bad. Doran. Ulting out as well. Cream can realm warp. Hang on, this is pretty bad for T1, no? I actually think maybe, 369 didn't have ult. He just used it before. Cream didn't either.
Signs of life from top esports, and it's Jackie Love that
okay, so Jackie gets the kill. I just wasn't tracking flashes there. So even after I was just like, wow, there are so many flashes targets in top esports. My brain is not locked in, folks.
Again, just punishing the fact that Faker had no flash, and this Nami slow is so painful to deal with for anyone that tries to waddle away. So nice job by top esports to find something back, and also to escape on that bottom side, because that looked dicey for a second.
Oh, it absolutely did. Dragon now.
So T1 still have the jungle advantage, which is really not great. Kanavi needs a jungle advantage, man. He's such a different player from ahead, and top esports win games realistically through Kanavi having a big lead and controlling the plays on the map. They've tried to pick the winning jungle match, well, powerful jungle matchups, Kanavi. The Wukong exchange has a bit of a wash, right? The Trundle does actually beat the Jarvan. And they're trying to pick pressure bot lanes to control laning phase to give him a platform to play off of. But T1's early game planning has been way better, and their early laning has been very good.
As long as Faker is sitting on the top side of the map, he can't really
funny that Galio turned into the AP builder game. It depends on the drafts. You know, Chovy, when he played it, he went for the tank build. In game 1 versus KT.
With this Dragon now in 35 seconds, I am curious what this potential fight is going to look like as well, because you've got no flash on Keria, which is so crucial for finding these big pop
That's true, yeah, no pop blossom is, no flash pop blossom is nice for top esports.
Because in theory, T1 are all jumping in on top of you, so you're not really
Faker's dropped a lot of farm here, Cream's picked up a lot.
Even if he ends up jumping on towards Gumayushi, Gumayushi just ults to the other side of the fight and keeps himself safe. So I really am curious how top esports are going to get value from this Ambessa throughout these next few engages.
All right, 5 seconds on that Drake. Kanavi takes a little bit of damage, but nothing that he's going to be extremely worried about here on the Trundle. Owner throws the flag into the pit, but now here in the bottom lane,
Eclipse means it's very hard to trade back as the Camille for now.
Continue to see 369 coming out on top. Trinity Force completed for Jackie Love.
Kanavi's a full level down on Owner. The jungle matchup's really getting me scared, man. It's not bad. Keria, no flashy. Good flash out of Owner. Kanavi's pulling the ult early just to make sure that he can get some good damage down on the first target. That's not bad. Jackie! Jesus Christ, Jackie! I think that's too far, no. Just giving the feats of Warfare over. Teleport in from Rise. Only you get that much more from this, do you? Surely you don't want to pull the Ambassador ult. Oh, maybe you do! There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on, 3. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's get Signs alive. Signs alive. Come on.
At the very edge of the fight to make it 3 kills to 3.
Oh, okay. So you lose that part of the feats of strength. You have 3 grubs if you start hitting towers. Baker gets 2 plates on top. Hang on a second. He actually is not. He actually needs to be afraid of 369. He can actually run him down here if things go very badly wrong.
The kill score as T1 walks away with the dragon.
Sometimes Jackie Love flashing in can be a little
That's the phase rush.
But that was exactly what
that is a good slapback from T1. This is a dead 369.
No ultimates, keeping this wave out from the tower.
Okay, clears the wave pretty much out. Does he have Repudiate? No, he's just super dead. Alright. Top Esports should have hard pushed the other lanes. They should have hard pushed the other lanes. They don't have ults to fight back against. So even if they kill one, you should be getting threat to kill tower.
They just keep going for these picks, and here, Keria steps too far forward, hoping that he can get that Pop Blossom, but the follow-up from Hong means that everyone in T1 has to run away.
I do like that Kanavi is just putting the ult down on the first target and saying the first person in is going to have an awful time.
Not expecting Doran to come in, but this entire time, 369 is trying to walk up from this bottom side of the map, and eventually
very nice from 369.
And manages to, flash it onto Gumayushi and sets up the play.
Beautiful follow-up from 369.
Wait, did they give T1 for? How did they give T1 first turret when they had prior on the map in like 2 lanes and 3 grubs? That's I really don't think they should have given them the feats of strength like that. They Goom is dead. Goom is dead. Guma has died. How did he die? Guys, Guma is dead. What happened to Gumayushi? Guma is dead. What happened? Okay, it's not a bad realm warp, but I don't know. Jackie looks a little dead here. Okay, Cream's got decent damage. Doran no flash. 369's 3 grubbing towers top. Yeah, guys, we've missed so much random shit. So Guma's coming back onto the map now. Guys, what happened to Guma? Wow, it's almost like the Kaiser isn't here.
They just walk Jackie Love down. They overextend trying to look for the tower, but Doran doesn't end up, or just moves down towards mid.
Guys.
As we get to see here, just Jackie Love. Oh my god, that damage on Gumayushi.
Yeah, guys, Guma just fucking died.
It's crazy. So Jackie Love gets a kill in the mid lane, and then T1 look to punish. And I mean, you're seeing the combo right here. There is no room for remorse, as Jackie Love is instantly shut down. Top Esports tried to get something.
I mean, Jackie Love just put him in timeout. You know, this is one of the reasons why. I mean, also while that happened, it meant that 369 got like a full turret topside.
Actually removed a lot of their pressure over towards the Rift Tower. I thought it'd be pick in to move towards that objective, but instead
giving the feats over to T1 is. I mean, Jackie is now actually pretty damn strong, but it's just the Corki doesn't. I don't think the Corki can carry this game. There's way too many ways to deal with him.
Jackie Love ready to drive it straight into the tier 1 turret. Honestly, they don't even really need it, but it will still lose.
I actually think they could have just driven it from mid lane to bot lane. No, you can do the angle between mid to bot lane out of turrets now.
Where Top Esports secured 3 grubs into every.
What is that Corki Nami damage? It's pretty insane if it gets ahead. This is what CFO wanted to do to KT, but they couldn't manage it.
Tied in Drakes here in the second game, but have secured the Herald. They've secured the grubs. They seem to be much more eager to fight with T1 in this game.
T1's composition very much operates similarly.
Kanavi's still down an XP to owner, which is worrying me.
On that initial pull of the trigger, but the longer the fight goes,
if you get enough I mean, if you get a good enough tidal wave and bubble, is that enough? I don't know. I don't know. Top Esports need to do some full context team fighting. Does Rise scale hard enough to carry this? His damage is just a little too slow in the fights, I think. You know, if he gets to sit there for like 10 seconds, yeah, his damage is insane. I just don't know if he does the damage quick enough.
on the side of Top Esports, stacking towards a Seraph's next, stacking towards that Muramana with the Manamune already fully completed. There for
Okay, so they want to stack up dragons. T1, how many ults do they have? They have all of them. So Top Esports have I don't know, this is a very good flank angle from T1. Carrier has a flash angle. That's a dead Jackie. 369 misses his ult. Do they get the dragon? No, Ona gets the smite. Fuck's sake, man. Hung's gonna die now too, maybe? No? Okay. So it's 1 kill and they give the dragon. God, you've just given them the dragon. Unironically, by the way, one of the ways you can save JackieLove is by using Realm Warp, walking away from it, so the Realm Warp can get him out mid-fight.
Top Esports have to run for the hills. There's nowhere safe for them.
I actually think you can defensive Realm Warp, flash out as the rise to potentially give the Corki away out.
That was just instant deletion at the start of the fight, and Top Esports had to scatter.
And hopefully we get the replay, because you'll see how difficult it is for Jackie. Keep your eyes on the Corki in the midst of all.
Yeah, I actually wonder whether... Oh, I mean, you can't do it from here, right? But oh, I mean, no, 369 hits his ult. Guess on Doran.
This AD carry is given no opportunity to get away to safety.
And this feels like a classic T1 fight where they surround you on all sides and they just
I don't know, man. T1 are the best objective retaking team in the world. This is why when Jackie was getting those kills earlier, I'm like, like this is the same thing with Hope versus T1 playing the dive comp before as well into the Corki. Where it just feels really bad for the Corki. Corki just doesn't have the agency to survive this stuff. You don't have something like a Tom Kench. You don't have a Renata that can kind of revive you. Even a Renata doesn't save you from this, in fairness, but yeah. Looks like the perfect Tom game, but Tom loses lane very, very hard to the Kai'Sa Nico. And both these teams really, really heavily prioritize having pushing bot lane that can fight in the 2v2.
There is a thought process of, well, you know, JackieLove can die because we have other carries, right? Trundle can deal some damage, and Bess is strong, Ryze is strong, but realistically...
No, but they did show a replay to me. They did show a replay of Guma dying to Jackie. Jackie just walked up and burst him with Nami burst. Turns out Imperial Mandate Nami is really, really broken. If you can get to the point where Top Esports can deathball and push like this, it's pretty strong for them. Especially with 3 grubs, Kanavi ulting the first person and blowing them up. It's basically giving you a free last Wisper item, you know? Kanavi's still a full level behind Ona. T1's early jungle pathing has been very, very good. Atakan's up, they push in bot lane.
Faker's gonna go back to base. He has the TP available. Top Esports gonna force
Nico clones broken for vision. Oh no, awesome flank angle. I don't think they know he's there though, no?
So he knows he's not seen here. Still trying to be careful about this.
Ona's on a magnificent angle, no? Oh god, it's a damn Jaws theme. Jackie has flash, barriers coming up. Ryze pushing in top side. Please do not tank Atakan.
Top Esports knows something is up. They cannot find Owner, and they
if they can find the fight now, it's huge. Fuck, that ult missing is huge. Very good ult from Carrier. It's just doomed, isn't it? Okay, they get Nico, but it's Nico, you know. How much can Cream and Kanavi do? Doran is very dead. Bubble's okay, yeah. They didn't spot Ona. Very good from Ona. Very, very good from Ona. Fuck me, man.
Triple kill for the Kai'Sa.
Oh.
And T1 get an ace for 2.
Top Esports.
It can't keep happening like this every fucking year.
On the side of T1, but once that misses, the Carrier finds the play.
That Nami ult was fucking awful.
And then it's cleanup for T1.
Oh my god.
It does not feel like LPL's day. It doesn't really feel like their decade, to be perfectly honest. And it looks like Faker, as he continues to make plays with T1, they want to march towards another World Finals for themselves.
Just send Kanavi and Tarzan back to the LCK. Just give them a chance to actually play like on world's winning teams.
As usual for T1. 3,000 gold, 25 petals. They've got the feats of warfare.
Yeah, I mean, T1's early jungle pathing, getting ahead in jungle matchups, slowly encroaching these jungle power kicks. I mean, yeah, now it's just gonna fall apart. It's not a bad teleport, but Rise is coming in too. Kai'Sa's on the roam. Corki won't get there in time. I don't think it matters. I mean, you've got Kai'Sa Galio to fly into side lanes. You can't play fast in loose in side lanes here, you know?
And they get the double kill because of it.
They can run, they can hide, but Top Esports cannot escape the nightmare that is T1. It was a 2 versus 1 that turned into a 4 versus 2 as Faker's Onyas.
Faker walks right towards the brush, but he's got the reaction
Good counter teleport. They have Camille, Nico, Jarvan still. Okay, yeah, the wheels have come off now. It's unplayable, man. Yeah. One mistake happens and Top Esports just fall apart.
Images of 2023 and Faker on this Galio must be in the heads of 369 and Kanavi because they attack the side lane, they get caught. They attack the jungle, they get caught. And T1,
like Top Esports have played for. I don't even think Top Esports have played away from what makes them successful. They played for Kanavi early, jungle, bully out matchup if possible, with a pushing bot lane. That is what wins them games.
Leveraging the clones as he often does.
Oh, that's very helpful.
That focus, allowing him to find an angle that Top Esports.
I don't know about how you guys feel, but I've almost CBA to watch this when it's only LCK winning every year. I wouldn't go that far, but it is just the way that it happens. It's just when it's happened like this for so long, it does hurt me on a spiritual level.
In this best of 5.
Let's check what's happening with the Sword Auto. Oh, for God's sake.
Anyone's legend pushed them to the brink, but Top Esports.
This is our worry about Top Esports. They are, yeah, they're a mentally very fragile team, and Hung has been awful in the first 2 games. Come on.
What do you do? It has been comfort across the board for
Legend. Dagda, because Vedius, you mentioned back at the draft when we saw the Kai'Sa locked in. Never mind, we don't have time. Jackie Love going after
Jackie's just dead now.
Jackie.
Okay, well, Gima's gonna die. It just doesn't matter. 1,000 gold shutdown's fine. It's just.
Now Owner's putting the pressure under Cream and Hong, making more space as Faker.
That's actually not bad from Cream. Oh, he dies anyway. Cream tried. I actually think Cream has had a good series. I actually don't think the problem's him. It's, yeah.
That killer instinct from Gumayushi.
I mean, Telecom War Finals is very cool, but also, Jesus Christ, man.
Kai'Sa ult to dodge the Ambessa and find the fight that will net T1 the Baron.
Simply magnificent team fighting from T1. We look back at the play. Guma becomes the target. The
ult misses onto Guma. I don't think it's 369's fault either. He's actually playing fine. T1 have better plans. They're drafting better as well. Honestly, this combo is so unplayable for Jackie to play against. Yeah, no, Guma's Kai'Sa's been solid. I don't think Guma's the main character of this game, but yeah.
In the series against anyone's legend, his Kai'Sa had a 6,000 individual gold lead and just did circles around Hope's Corki. This time around, Jackie might have been off to a decent start, but T1 has shot that chopper down every single team.
I'm trying not to be too emo, but God, this is so depressing.
3 fully completed items. Seeker's arm guard unbroken. Jackie Love jumping forward. Carrier has to flash away.
That's the best you can do, is get a defensive flash out.
That's one less playmaking tool for T1, but they're wearing purple with a 9,000 gold lead and soul point.
I hope KT can save this world. Well, it would be the most KT thing, but also it'd be the most KT thing to make finals and get 3-0 by T1, so. Why am I a T1 hater? I'm not a T1 hater. I'm not. I'm a T1 fan. I've supported them since like 2013. Why do you think I am? Why would you say that? I'm an LPL fan, and I've spent a lot of time and effort casting the LPL, and I love those teams, so I'm sad for them. That might be what you're confusing. You might be confusing sadness for the LPL teams for something against T1, which isn't the case. You know, I love T1. I think they're a great team. They are an absolute anathema to what we understand of League of Legends. But yeah, so I'm interested to see why you say that, because I think you may be confusing 2 very different things. Okay, well, Top Esports and Mental Booms. It's a 3-0.
Simply exceptional performance from T1. Let's get the breakdown from the analysts.
Thanks for the gift sub there, Zareth. Appreciate you.
It wasn't enough seemingly for Faker and T1 to have that record over the LPL. They also want to get the fastest record over the LPL at Worlds, because this is an
This is just not close.
from the man you see walking behind
This is not even close.
right now and his team, Emily.
Yeah, I mean, I want to call out Gumayushi on.
Is this a 3-0? I mean, I called the 3-0 before the series. I called this. The top esports are just mentally all over the place, you know?
I'm pretty sure it's IG Kaisa. Absolutely destroying, along with Keria on this Nico, which you'd already set up at the beginning of the day, Azale.
I just want to call out that we are witnessing greatness. They are one game away
From another World Finals. Fourth Finals is insane.
That is just unthinkable. In a game where you're competing against so many people from around the world, where there are so many talented players, to keep doing it again and again and again and again, it's just insane.
It's insane, and I want to call out
Top
specifically
esports is 0-14 against LCK now.
from Swiss stage into quarterfinals into semifinals, that we saw that conversion in real time being so fast. I remember it was a mere few days ago where you said, I don't think they'll be that good in these playoffs, in these knockouts. I don't think I've seen enough. There's so many problems with their play. They are non-existent today.
See, Doran is good on that champ. That wasn't really a Doran game, though. And the problem is, it's actually quite hard to judge, like, individual... Like, I think Guma had a fine game, and I think that Doran had a fine game. I do think that 369 was doing well against Doran on the whole. I think realistically that game is more on Owner and Carrier, though. And I think the problem is, like, top esports is just not playing well. So it's hard to judge on the T1 side because top esports are playing quite poorly, sadly. I think they're mentally starting to fall apart a little bit. The big win from T1, the big thing from T1 is that just stylistically they have figured out how to fight in bot lane very well and get Owner ahead. He said he couldn't play it? He's historically been a poor Camille player.
The problem is there's no protection for
He's of the Camille.
Here he goes a bit too far, flashing in, didn't realize that Doran was there, but we saw...
And I don't think that's an incorrect thing to say. And I think T1 fans like know that too, right?
Yeah, there were so many fights where it was obvious that T1's focus, even as this is 369 getting onto Guma, it didn't look super bad for TES. But as we already pointed out,
Yeah, historically Doran's not had a great Camille.
T1 had such a laser focus on killing this Corki before, and they, like you said, Azale, had no peel for him to keep him safe.
And this is where, like, I never like to make everything about the draft because it's not. There's a massive portion of it is execution. But when I was watching the draft,
T1 are so much better prepared for this than top esports. The early plays around jungle and lane are so much better from T1.
Felt so unlikely that you're going to be able to blow open the game through lane to a point where...
Okay, I gotta go see if I can get some food and get a drink.
Objectively worse than having a Renata.
And meanwhile, you just had that fantastic play from Keria that you broke down in the pre-show, but here again on his Nico, every second counts, and thanks to the reliable Cisco network, they find them all. I mean, if it wasn't over by then, it definitely was over again, and it's that Atakan, man.
Yeah, as the attempt from TES here to find a catch, not quite working out. These engages from Keria have been insane. And then Guma dives in, Doran is right there, and obviously Faker comes in with the heroic entrance. And despite Keria going down early, Doran getting chomped, doesn't matter because the damage dealers are still alive.
And what you didn't see was the setup to this too, which I also really liked, right? Owner was waiting just before that tri-brush for a really long time. They were trying to set up, closing in on this TES team. And as you see the comparison, Jackie Love started off not bad in this specific game, but it was Gumayushi, again, on this Kaisa pick that previously, domestically, he's been a little bit shaky on, absolutely showing up once again on the world stage. 11, 3, and 8, nearly 1,000 damage a minute.
And as you said, on that IG Kaisa skin to add insult to injury. How does TES come back from this? It feels like they have not only the weight of the current games on their shoulders, but all of their fans in the LPL in the 12-year history that Faker has against the LPL.
I mean, a reverse sweep is so hard to pull off against T1. I will say something that gave me some confidence is it never felt like they gave up. They still kept looking for fights, even when they were massively behind. They need comfort. They need to have some early plays go their way and hopefully build a little confidence.
Oh, they have to show so much to stay in this one from the side of Top Esports, or it is T1 that head over to their 4th straight Grand Finals. Now, 2025 has been a big year in League of Legends. We welcomed players to Noxus and introduced Arena Mode, journeyed with Sinzao to Ionia for the Spirit Blossom Festival and to meet Nymaera, and now, faced with the threat of impending darkness released by LeBlanc and Arakan, our heroic warriors will converge on the Temple of Twilight in a final battle of fate. Don't miss the narrative conclusion to 2025 when the season end cinematic premieres on November 7th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central European. Can't wait.
I'll be there no matter what.
Same.
Every new path seems to lead us closer to chaos.
Piltover was a lesson. Calamity is always approaching.
Perhaps we should focus on the opportunity that's washed up on our shores.
Besides, you have no host. Unforeseen turns are simply part of any path. Our next move must be bolder.
My name is Xinjiao, Seneschal of Demacia. This sapling bloomed in the royal gardens, where none should grow. Its presence gave me no peace. So after 30 years, I have returned to the lands of my birth, seeking answers.
You know the tale of the devoted shrine maiden, Xinjiao. You should hear the story behind it.
Leaderless and lost, war between the Darkin became inevitable. Ionia was just another battleground among many. Some of us prayed to the shrine spirits for deliverance, and that was when he came to us. His name was Zehen. When the war was over, we returned in victory. But something had changed in Zehen. He could feel his humanity ebbing away, and feared what he might eventually become capable of. And so he asked to be bound like the others.
If you crave freedom, Atakan, then tell me where the Darkin weapon lies.
The first lands.
Ionia is but a doorway.
I have done your bidding.
Yunara, what has happened?
He says he experienced a dark vision.
I saw Demacia in ruins.
Someone knows the truth. They mean to free Zehen.
The greatest players in the world are here.
They can just burn this one down. Oh my god, Owen by 9!
You are going to see them like you've never seen them before.
Frost at will as the Arcane Storm doing so much work, and Genji! They are just going to ace them!
누굴 만나도 이길 수 있다는 자신감 정도로만 생각하고 있습니다.
Genji, the EWC winners! Locking down the Drake is now Doran. Decent position, double break down my walls, but I won't rise again. Cause I stand tall in my environment. How could I ever close my eyes and stay silent since they try to take me down?
Alright guys, I just landed in China. Let's go.
Play the local way, pay your way.
Have you ever seen the Great Wall at night?
Play the local way, pay your way.
Hello, I'm back. Yeah, I think Kanavi's been not great this series, folks. Sorry, comment in chat. We're depressed, Brackish. We're very depressed.
When I was a player, if I was to like make a misplay, maybe it's my mouse, maybe it's my armrest, something feels wrong. If you were at home, you wouldn't do that.
The Infinite Precision Armrest is part of the larger Circulab on Stage standard initiative.
Just what does the LPL got to do, man? What? Who have we got to sacrifice to get a good Worlds? Who have we got to sacrifice? Is the Telecom War final looking real? Yeah, yeah, it's 2-0-T1 and Toppy's supposed to flow really bad. Oh god. Like I think Hung has had a nightmare. Hung has had a nightmare. Yeah. I just don't know what even. Okay, let's do a thought experiment, right? Going into next year, assuming you don't have crazy mega budget for super teams, what do you do as LPL to make a competitive team for Worlds? Because for those of you that don't know, there is a minimum salary cap you have to have for the best players in the league. So that's the reason why Knight often ends up on on the teams that he does, is because he has like a minimum salary. So it has to be the teams with big money, basically.
안녕하세요. T1의 페이커입니다. 오늘 상해 8년 만에 와서 경기를 했는데.
Oh yeah, just buy T1 and move T1 to the LPL. Of course. Of course.
너무 기쁩니다. 항상 응원해 주셔서 감사합니다.
I just hate that top esports are like that. It's really quite something to see T1 beat top esports at their strengths. Inject Copium for us and tell us a game 3 draft that wins. Kanavi on Neferi with early invades. And then 369 on Scion, ban away the Trundle. Yeah, you get like a Scion Neferi draft. But you also need a winning bot lane as well. Yeah, but I think you need Kanavi on, and you need Kanavi to smashing early jungle matchup, which hasn't happened. And I think part of that is because the early lanes haven't been going particularly well either, and their early plans haven't been great. But Kanavi not getting the steal on the buff in game 1, flashing in game 2 and not doing anything, that fucking sucks, man. Yeah, but there are people talking about the finances of stuff in different chats. So there are minimum salary caps, but also maximum salary caps in LPL, and they are determined by how good of a player you are, your accomplishments, and your stats, basically. I guess you put Tarzan and Knight on the same team. Maybe. Yeah, I think realistically, I actually don't think Cream's been awful this series, but I think you kind of need Knight, either Knight Kanavi or Knight Tarzan. You need 2 of them, right? You need one of those 2 jungle. Like either, even though Knight and Kanavi weren't the best duo together, they didn't play the game in the same way. They're still just so good players, and Knight buys so much pressure in early lane and mid lane that it doesn't matter. Or you have Tarzan, who's so good at planning that he can work around Knight like that. You convince an already lack of new talent to have new talent. Well, that's another thing too, because there's the talent pipeline in LPL has taken a massive hit with LDL's issues over the years. Yeah, there aren't that many. Yeah, the talent pipeline for LPL has been much lower than it has been in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Worlds 2025 here in the semifinals.
I swear to God, if 369 gets 3-0 by this team again.
KT Rolster in the finals in Chengdu just a week from now.
Okay. Knight has been underperforming, to be honest. He has, but also how do you expect him to perform with a team that's so dysfunctional? He was 1v9 the entire year, pretty much. Knight was still, I think, it was between Knight, Tarzan, Kanavi, maybe Jacula for the best player across LPL this year. Because Knight was really 1v9. And that's with Knight not being at his best. What a timeline. I swear, I'm so depressed, man. Okay, top Esports would have to reverse sweep. They're starting on blue side. They'll likely have to do 2 red side games after that, even if they do win. Kiana first pick, they ignore, but now you don't have the Kiana Rise. You could have had Kiana Rise last game and you chose not to do it. So now you don't have point and click CC for the Kiana. Yeah. My question is, how does top Esports replace Jacula? I don't know. Maybe you bring up someone like 1xN. 1xN is fantastic. Sion, you can't Trundle because you picked up the Kiana already. Do you go Yorick here for 369? I think you actually Yorick for 369 here. I think 369, give him a lane pressure matchup versus Doran. I don't think you go tank for tank here. Doran can fall down in individual laning phase. I actually think Yorick might be the answer. Even if it would be against Global from Pantheon. Okay, so... Oh, so now you can reflect the call of the Forge God. The Mel is insane into the on-ult. Yes, you can. You can reflect the on-ult.
And that is not going to be a fun time for top Esports.
Cream Zanny is actual treasure. Yeah, Cream Zanny is not good. So you don't have a choice pairing for the Kiana. You don't have point and click CC for the Kiana to just insta one-shot you.
Going to be taken away by T1.
I think is a really good response as well. Wow, so you'll see T1.
I think this Mal is actually very good from Faker. I like it a lot.
They want to have poke of their own. To think about something that could pair nicely alongside that, they could consider the Caitlyn for Gumayushi if they want a little bit more range. Jhin is also something they consider. However, Jhin into Ornn not necessarily the strongest threat into that tank top side, but it would facilitate some of the poke direction that T1 is going for. Alternatively, Lucian could be a very powerful bot side, but with both Braum and Nami gone, that does lower the value of that AD carry.
Ezreal Ziggs for no long-range follow-up. Varus is gone. I don't think you ever want to pick something like Jhin here. I guess you can flex the Mel between mid-bot. Technically support, but you don't want to do that there. You can pick... you can also Sejuani Pantheon 2.
Very similar to what we saw the last time T1 were on the stage.
Oh, this is a nasty ass comp. The Ash Arrow is so nuts here, man. Alistair's gone, Braum's gone. Do you have to Leona here for Hung? I think you have to Leona for Hung, right? But then what happens if you get Seraphine? Then you lose lane. What do you do to beat an Ashe in lane? Jhin is just not... Jhin into Sion. No, God, not Jhin into Sion. I don't even like Jackie. Jackie Love Draven is very famous. Oh, we get Jackie Draven. Maybe for his last ever professional game.
This tournament, but into Ashe, I don't know how great of a pick it is. Like, Draven
this is a difficult game to play for a Draven, but I mean, I guess you can knock the Pantheon out of his W.
That's probably why they're hovering a hook champion, someone who can help close that gap, provide that additional
Draven Nautilus is killed. You need to do this so you don't get smashed in 2v2.
For the team fights. They have a ton of utility, a lot of area of effect damage, and Jackie Love looking to bring the damage on the
Renard is kind of huge here.
Considering rather than going for some follow-up on the
you could go Seraphine as well, but I think Renard is better into the Nautilus.
I think they have enough engage already with the Ashe and the Sion, even the Pantheon as well. So T1.
Okay, top Esports. Let's see if you can get one back for Pride.
Go for the engage because TS's engage is very telegraphed. And it gives you that opportunity to send out the hostile takeover and make things a little bit more difficult, especially if you can look to reflect some of these engage tools by Faker. For Top Esports, they went back towards Comfort once before. It didn't work out. But can Jackie Loves Draven, his signature pick, take them across?
He was a Draven streamer before he went pro. Streams like 60,000 people in 2016, 2017.
What is the most important aspect of this game 3 for Top Esports? Because whether it was a super slow-paced game or a
The LPL is just cursed. They have so many great players who for some reason just can't empower each other on the same team. Yeah, it's a weird one, right? Ever since the downfall of like the I don't know, RNG, I suppose. Felt like they couldn't lead the meta in the same way anymore.
So in order to be able to find those
I think the Mel is so mega here. I mean, you don't want to reflect the Nautilus hook, but you can reflect the Ornalt, which is insane.
And I think that really has been the area that T1 has gotten the better of Top Esports in this series.
Okay.
It's not going to be an easy task for Top Esports as we get onto the Rift for game number 3. History is not in their favor. This series has not been in their favor. But they'll have to dig deep if they hope to take down the Korean powerhouse.
The last remaining Chinese team here in Shanghai trying to hold on against the back-to-back world champs as we make our way onto the Rift for game 3.
First strike Kiana, so you can farm up. So you're not looking for the early level 1. You go towards Conqueror if you want to fight early on.
Top laners investing their early wards to help get that control.
Shout out to the Philippines. Hey, well, welcome from Berlin. Still not managed to get myself out to the Philippines at some point. I'd like to. I'd like to. My brother's been there a couple of times, but my dad's been there the once.
Oh, okay, so they're just going to clear out the ward for now.
We've had no Taeyun swaps this series. It has, look, Top Esports really want a 2v2. They do love a good 2v2.
It's really not that big of a deal. So instead, save your ward in the bottom lane. Save it for when the junglers are likely going to be ganking you around that 4-minute mark so that you can be prepared.
Who's got the better draft for you? I think T1 do. I think you have very good fishing engage tools with the Ash Arrow. I think your lanes are all fine. I think the Mel is actually pretty awesome. So Jaculov, what he can do is you can time down his Q, get the extra on so you can get 2 axes coming into lane if he wants. He chooses not to. Okay, I guess he wouldn't have. Maybe you get forced off the wave if you walk up. It means you're not playing with 2 axes at level 1.
Earlier I mentioned that I expected Kanavi to start on the top side of the jungle. However,
he's going bot's top actually, yeah.
Transitioned over towards bot. We just saw Jackie Love helping him take out that red buff so that he doesn't have to go for an early base is very much what I expect. Meaning that he's pathing towards the top side of the map unless he's got some creative early pathing plan. We'll keep track of him here as he secures his Raptors.
I think Kanavi
369's Ornn is one of his more famous champions. You like Top Esports draft? I mean, as 5 members, it's okay. I worry that they don't have the damage to get through the Scion, especially with the Renata. And if you don't have the damage to kill them quickly, Mel just starts stacking up passive and passive and passive, and it just goes mad.
And you can see in the first couple of games,
your girlfriend's from the Philippines? You plan on going back? Yeah, it's a beautiful country from everything I hear.
Much better showing so far from the T1 jungler. A part of more than 80% of the overall kills scored by the team has been doing exactly.
Do you think KT can beat T1?
And has been controlling those early games as well, plus 200 gold at 14.
I don't think KT go in with a weight of expectations. I think T1 come in as like, if KT do anything in finals, it will be so far beyond anything they would have been expected for. So I don't think there's any pressure on them before at all.
Because of how much they've stepped up, but so much of this year's accomplishments by T1 have largely been driven by Oda, who so far in this series has been spectacular.
Okay, this is probably flash blown, not much more. I don't think he has to flash the Ice Blade. Oh, good patience there from Kanavi. Okay, Kanavi's on the board on the Kiana. That's big. And this is kind of, by the way, this is kind of why I wanted to see something like the Yorick into Doran, because Doran is quite exploitable in lane. Hang on, Cream might die here. Cream actually might just die here.
Cream getting very dangerously low, but he'll
Navi even flashing the JDG logo. Remembering his roots, but we'll have to see now. Faker.
Oh, hang on. This is why he went from bot to top, I guess. Kanavi needs to have a huge angle here. Can you flash him for the kill? I guess there's still the reflect up, even with no mana. Good first strike.
And
First strike helps.
If Kanavi ever runs into Owner, it's a difficult time because that burst damage from the Pantheon plus the tankiness makes it very difficult for Kanavi in the 1v1 and 2v2.
Don't know what's going on with top esports getting Giga out drafted this hard 2 games in a row. Yeah, well, T1 when they get locked in on a meta is kind of insane, right?
Yeah, Owner losing half HP there.
So Faker's teleport back in so he has full mana.
Owner has to throw up the shield, get a little bit of extra distance and walk away from this one.
You can't actually reflect that much from Aurora as Mel.
Having a fine time against
So you asked Flowers, what is it
Is KT T1 in the same level of DRX T1?
Kanavi being proactive on the map, and the fact that he's already secured first blood.
It's up there.
Great start, but I want to see
I actually think it's up there, folks.
Towards that bottom side of the map. Draven as a champion needs to be accelerated simply.
+5 gold from the first strike. I mean, that's hang on. Doesn't it increase with levels? It'd be a little bit more. But little bits and pieces can actually help, though. You know, the Scion one was more important, right? Because you actually get a good chunk of damage out. The thing where first strike really helps you is less about early game now. It's much more about farming from 1 item to 2 item. It's what Talon Jungle used to do at 21 Worlds rather. Where you'd just jump on someone, take to 80% of the HP, get like, you know, an extra 50 gold, and then run off again. Come on, 369. Show us something good.
369 going to be able to punish Doran in the position that he's in. But unless you can get another kill for this Kiana on the top side,
bot lane's going fine for Jackie and Hung.
Another nice route there with the solar snare for Faker. Sets up so well to combine with the radiant volley to hit just all of those projectiles.
If KT wins Worlds, is this the greatest upset in Worlds?
But Cream doesn't really have the mana to try to punish him.
Oh, not bad there, Cream, actually.
As Cream goes between worlds.
Passive could have killed. He was running out of mana, but there was a chance actually he could kill there. Oh, no flash for the Scion. This is a kill, no? Nice. Just farm Doran. So 369 dies, but Kanavi's getting so fed. Yep, this is how this is one of the ways that I think T1 can just lose a series, is Doran just gets blasted. Faker has mana, Cream doesn't. Faker can also reflect the Q, which is why Cream has to angle it that way.
I mean, normally we see players not really invested into trying to camp Scion.
I'm surprised that top esports didn't play around 369 lane pressure more, but I suppose the Orn's the Scion's fine when Kanavi just camps it.
Pushing towards 369, so it doesn't matter that he doesn't have his TP available, but it also especially doesn't matter because he's pathing towards the bot side of the map. The Draven going to be the one to send up towards top, secure that wave, and also be in a position to contest the grub spawning in a minute and a bit.
We'll also give Kanavi the level 6 nice and early here as he starts to match Owner already hitting his. He'll be able to move up towards the top.
Well, Kanavi, this is your statement game. I have to say, I think they should have locked the Kiana on 2-3 last game. Just go for the Rise Kiana. Don't bother with the... And the Corki ended up being unplayable in that draft after.
There is enough burst damage to set up alongside Jackie Love to very quickly erase a T1 member off the map.
I mean, we don't see a lot of Mel in professional play, but Rebuttal is on the same level as something like a Yasuo Windwall with just how team...
Dogdown was not carried by Milky Way and FPX Bacon. In fact, Shallow, who was on stream with Hacker talking about how the bot lane of FPX actually carried Milky Way, they made sure that he played with basically no responsibilities and he could do whatever the hell he wanted. And if you watch back to the games, we were calling that out when we were casting them too. Dogdown and Life are actually very, very good on FPX that year. The stuff like the Ashe Rumble lane from them is insane. I think that Dogdown's contributions to Milky Way's career has been vastly understated. People need to value him more.
Ticks over to level 6. Gumayushi been sitting on that for a little
However, Dogdown was not great in LCK up until his World Run, right? I think a lot of people had a lot of complaints about him.
Does the owner have much impact in this early game, but with the level 6 himself and the dragon being started off, this will be the first.
Giving up another early dragon. T1 have had pretty much dominion over all early dragons.
With top esports being in a better position on the top side of the map, T1 happy to look for this, and they should be able to continue what has been basically the Dragon's tactic.
DRX was special because it was such a one tournament wonder. They were only good for that one patch. It was so bad outside of it. Hey Tony, good to see you.
Alright, 369.
Oh, okay.
Gonna try to keep Gumayushi away as much as he can. Meanwhile, topside, Kanavi.
Was he? I think he was afraid of the proper solo kill though.
Another opportunity. No, goes ahead and takes the recall as Hong and Jack.
He has flash and ult, so he's not dying here.
Scion is the focus here in this game. They knock him low.
And he has good HP regen, so he won't die here.
75 stacks on Jackie Love. That ultimate continues to get stronger as the stacks continue to grow. For now, though, his priority is on getting that farm, Kerry in a position to provide that cover. Junglers just continuing to clear through the camps, but Doran needs to be careful because...
Jackalif's still behind. Yeah, he is, but then you expect that versus an Astronaut, right?
Could
he dropped an X.
pay that Scion a visit.
Kerry looking to try and cover though, and this has kind of been the job that Kerry has been up to all of this early
Wait, did he?
game.
What
He's
did he?
been making sure he can be in positions where top esports are trying to make plays, but he's going to look for the reset and the wave started.
But no, honestly, that is like that's a lot of the understanding of people's view on FPX, really, there, Bacon. A lot of people think that Milky Way was like the one. Hang on a second, Faker, do not be having that flash still. Oh, Kanavi lives. Okay. Q kills. I mean, Kanavi still gets a third kill. It's a shutdown, though. Another first strike proc. Kanavi is really trying his best here, man. The idea that you can even compare the current KT to run to DRX tells a lot, for sure, yeah. I think the thing about the DRX run is that they scraped through to finals with so many 5-game series that it obviously had way more drama to it. KT destroying Genji in 4 games, 3-0ing the quarterfinals means that, and 3-0ing groups. Is it more surprising that KT made it to finals by only dropping 1 game? You know what, folks? I actually think this is a better run because KT, they only dropped a single game.
He's 5-1 now, I believe, in professional play this year. So now we'll see with all the money, with the carry,
because DRX scraped through a bunch of series. In terms of like the finals itself, yeah, DRX, it was a, oh my god, that's a good arrow, but I think he dies anyway. Another first strike part for Kanavi. Hung's gonna die. Wait, they didn't give the shutdown to Jackie. Why did you not give the shutdown to Jackie? Why did you not give the cash in?
They're getting the kills for Kanavi, but they're
why
getting the kill on the laner, which
why didn't they give the kill to Jackie?
Level on towards the individuals on T1.
And it's critically
Oh, DRX have 1 5-game series until finals. They beat Genji 3 on, right? Okay. So I just remembered so many game 5s that kind of went into went into 1. I mean, I guess you need to make sure. I guess wait, did he have flash up at the time of the gank? I guess you just need to get the kill done, right? But you need Jackie to cash in, otherwise he's never going to be able to cut through the Scion. Honestly, like Draven doesn't cut through Scion anyway, but you need a lot of help to do that.
He's got a sizable CS advantage, a bit of an XP lead over Kanavi. And the gold overall largely remains even because Gumayushi on the side lane has been farming up those
DRX had to go through plans, yeah, but like KT had to, they took down Genji in a 5-game series to get themselves into Worlds. I think if you view that the playoffs run beforehand, I think KT, in terms of like the upset potential and stuff, I still think that KT are very close. I think it's a debate, right?
But as long as you can do that, I think you're in a decent spot here as top esports to play around your jungler. And oftentimes when we've seen Kanavi in these sort of do-or-die situations, he's taken that mantle on. Like you think cast your eyes back to the Belveth that he played for JDG in 2023, saying, I will be the carry I can do it. Wasn't successful then.
But you look at his Vi game from that series, though, Dagda, and I think like he did do bits and pieces. Obviously, the Belveth was not as good. But I don't know. I think Kanavi's career it's a strange one because he's never really got it done at Worlds, but he's had a couple of awesome moments, right? And his MSIs have been fantastic if you look at MSI 23 at least. Well, MSI 23 is fantastic, the other one's not so much. I don't think it's a debate. DRX run is on another level to me. I think it's a contest. I think that KT. Yeah, I think that KT, after getting their shit kicked in the whole year by the teams above them, yeah, it's worth the debate, right?
Bases are going to quickly come through from T1.
No, I think that some of the memes about KT are overblown. I think they're a good team, whereas DRX, there are a lot of flaws to that team. Yeah.
Top Esports, will they feel confident enough to go for this early fight?
Owner is massively out farming Kanavi, but Kanavi's just been farming first strike. He's down in XP though. Kanavi's trying to make shit happen and set some lanes behind. But like Jackie's 500 behind, Cream's down almost a kill, over a kill worth of gold as well. Well, KT has to win. Yeah, KT would have to win, folks. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Top Esports, the Between Worlds available for Cream, but Gumayushi spots out Kanavi. and will manage to step away. But Top Esports invested a lot in shifting down towards this bottom side, which means that T1 get to move in towards River first.
And critically, 369's teleport now is available yet again. So Top Esports, they're going to try to commit everybody to this. Doran has already
T1 on the Dragon first again. Kanavi has flash and ult. That's not bad from Hung, actually. Orn ult's pretty good. Where's the Draven damage? Where's Draven? Is he just... Jackie gets one, so he does get his cash in. Kanavi's down. Well, that's it, isn't it? So you get the cash in, it's just not going to matter. Like, there's a cash in for Jackie, but... I didn't even think that looked like a bad fight for Top Esports, but... It's not, I don't even think that's a bad angle.
One shot at the start of this fight. Look into the pit as Kanavi goes over the wall. Owner says not.
Does Owner just, oh, with the Ash arrow as well? Wow.
Doran and Owner shut him down.
Well, Kanavi gets blasted.
Jackie, look, gets focused down by Gumayusi and cannot make the difference.
I mean, Keria had a fantastic Renata ultimate on the top side of the fight because it looked like Hung had connected absolutely everything. But once that Renata came down, they lost everything.
We're not done, though. It's a pit coming in for Top Esports. They find Keria in the enemy jungler. They catch T1.
Hung might be able to catch Faker here, actually.
Faker with a rebuttal. Hung still manages to close the distance here with the dreadlock.
Kanavi's left, so they're left in the 2v2.
Cream in some danger now. There's the execution. There's the damage. There's T1. Oner and Faker get one back as Top Esports are still on the retreat. Hung.
Well, this is depressing. I don't know, man. T1 are just way better team fighters. I think that the early game macro, the understanding of when to reset, when to move on the map is just far above Top Esports for this series.
Top Esports looked unsure about what they wanted to achieve.
No, the basics from Top Esports just have not been good enough. I think anyone's legend is better than Top Esports. Clearly. Yeah, clearly.
Waiting to see if Kanavi would just greedily jump over the wall and try to start the blue buff. Kanavi finds him there.
Jackie, don't be having any of those summons. Jesus Christ. Folks, this might be Jackie Love's last ever game. I think he might retire after this one.
T1 can simply run him down.
Oh no, Kanavi! What was
Shitting hell, man. He's trying his best. Oh! Fuck.
The pressure of elimination in the semifinals is crushing Kanavi as Owner tanks up 369.
God, Top Esports, at least give us something. Okay, it's not bad. Decent shutdown. Faker's here now, so he kills at least one. Faker has ult, so he maybe kills 2 or 3 here, actually. He might be able to kill. Does his ult kill? Oh, pop. No, Kanavi's really trying, but he tried to snowball the map. They're just... Their team fighting instincts are just not at the level of T1s on this patch. I think Kanavi in the other games in this series was very quiet. It wasn't the Kanavi which I knew, but this one, obviously the Dragon fight was kind of shit. But Kanavi is the only person who's a threat on this team, and he's trying to make the most out of it. I'm not blaming Kanavi for this one. I think Hung has been fucking awful. God, even the hook missing there.
Owner with the snipe, and then T1 think maybe, hang on, we don't want to be around here as Top Esports look to collapse. 369 gets a good Orn ultimate to set up for Hung and Cream to go for the in-between worlds. But as you call it, Betty, it's all this extra gold going on towards the burn from 369, taking that one.
Honestly, I wouldn't be this bitter if T1 actually won the rest of the year apart from just at Worlds. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. What do you think the reason is why the LPL teams were so bad this Worlds? Well, BLG always had the flaws which they had. That one's like a low roll, but I can see where that came from. They were a dysfunctional team. Top Esports Top Esports had the mental choke. They've always had that internationally. It's not about knockout, but you just don't have the damage. The Draven can't kill the Scion ever, really. And then anyone's legend went out in quarters because they had a bad draw against T1 who came online in playoffs, you know. And IG had to play against T1 as well. I actually think IG would have been pretty okay. I think IG could have made quarters as well, but they had to go through play-ins.
It won't convert into major objectives, but T1 find themselves more kills.
Yeah, and it feels like desperation.
I'm sad for Jackie Love.
Because that's exactly what it is.
I'm sad for Jackie Love. If this is the series to go out on, that's just fucking awful, especially with his I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Kanavi, well, he wouldn't have hit a wall anyway. I think that's actually fine, because you get the stun through river anyway, Pillow.
But that's all it does. Gumayushi and Faker are completely safe. They know they have the numbers advantage. Jackie Love is
They just don't have damage, man. You're never cutting through a Scion with a Renata behind them.
There's just no damage there every single time. Like, great knockup from 369, but we're back to it again.
We might be fighting once more. Rift Herald coming up mid lane here from Top Esports. But T1 are looking to knock the thing down before it ever even gets to charge. Plus 25 gold might as well have been
Doran's unkillable. You never kill Doran now. I actually don't think this is... I don't think team fights are winnable now. I don't think you have the damage. I think that you're never cutting through the first target when Scion's disrupting you, and when there's a Renata there too, and you're too far behind on the map. You need T1 gets the objective first. Cream doesn't have the damage.
Looking to try to cut off T1, coming behind him. Top Esports backing away now.
Doom has been playing very well on the Ashe so far too. Not bad from Doran. Dragon's over. Cream stunned up. Fuck me, man. The Draven just can't do shit against the Scion. Draven versus Scion is so unplayable. Another disappointing LPL year, folks. I mean, I say that. At least BLG made 5-game World Finals.
But T1 have claimed defeats, claimed the Drake, claimed the Tier 1 turret. Otacon's live on the map, and T1's got a 4,000 gold lead at Soul Point.
Renata stocks are going to be at all-time high after this game.
Fucking IG went to 5 games, you know?
As they just see Cream go invisible, thinking that might be the engage, but immediately Kerry responds, and T1 are able to chase down the backline.
What do you even say, man? What do you even say?
So difficult for Jackie Love to do anything in these
Like,
fights.
yeah, even IG. I say even IG. IG did better than this, and they got to play one fucking best of 5, you know?
As the rest of T1 handled the flank from Cream.
And look, I obviously like T1. This is historic, but I view this as an LPL fan first and foremost, and it's just so catastrophic to go out like this. It's added on top of, you know, the failure to not even get final. Well, I say not even get finals, but you know, one team into semis, one team out in play-ins, one team out in Swiss. To do that on Chinese soil as well, on home soil, and to go out like this. AL had a close series, but having this be the last hurrah of the LPL is just not... Oh god, it's so depressing. Faker's gonna get good damage down here anyway. Oh, he didn't get his ult off, okay. Oh, is it still a trade anyway? Owner still kills, no? He's got W up. Canal.
Gumayushi with a flash forward, and he's putting arrows into Jackie Love's back. Jackie gets away with a Kim Tech platform.
Oh, the slow shit.
Focus fire. One more volley takes him out.
Depression, man.
Gumayushi gets it done.
T1 will not let Top Esports rest. It has
T1
been
are
so
too
many
good, man.
years that they've continued to find picks and plays.
And Kanavi again just picking the wrong moment.
Oh, close miss.
He survives for now, but it costs Hong's life.
Well, Top Esports tried to, I don't know, rectify the wrongs of first stand, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think they've made their reputation any better.
Christmas tree of red pings. Everybody's calling for Otacon.
Owner adds another notch to the spear as he goes to 9, 1, and
It's unfair for the LPL to have 3 slots. Same as LEC, they should have 4. I mean, technically they do with the play-in, right? But that is what it is.
12 years T1 have beaten the LPL.
This is ridiculous from T1, man.
5 years Top Esports not
Just the mental collapse from LPL teams versus this team is just unavoidable.
369, and it looks like that reign will continue.
And this pick onto
The Scion ult from Doran is really well timed. Like, as soon as there's a problem, he finds the angle to get into the play.
So fast. Owner and Doran are there to shut down Cream. Jack 11-369.
How's your bro doing? Sam's on holiday. I couldn't go because I've still got visa paperwork I need to do. So Sam's off in the US for a couple of weeks. Just sad, I'm missing a family holiday, but hey, here's what it is. Yeah, Sam's doing alright.
to Faker costs them 2 on the escape.
The clock ticks ever forward against top.
I think Owners had a very good series. And then that Kanavi, I think really the key, the real crux of this victory was T1 doing very well in early 2v2 and making sure that Kanavi got no foothold in most of this series. Even in this game, Kanavi was getting ganks, but Owner was still a full level ahead, you know? It's not bad from 369, but they get the reset, so... hang on, they don't have bailout now. Jackie's actually going to get maybe one kill. No. Scion. Okay, it's what? 3 for 2, but Faker wasn't even there, so it was a 5v4. Oh, depressing, man. Oh, good knock-up to interrupt the Ornn charge. 4 if they're losing that in a 4v5. Faker doesn't even need to ult. Wait, he leaves him alive? Oh my god. They didn't even need Faker to go man mode this series. He just had to sit back and watch the plan unfold. This is... I don't know, folks. Just watching top esports play like this... guys, come on. You know... Show us something. Show us anything. Like... How the hell do you turn up to the biggest match in your... for the LPL at this fucking tournament as their last open? Show this! Like, how do you show this, you know?
But T1 are not letting them find their footing.
Oh, God.
Threatening a Baron, but I think T1 happy to take that fight if it comes to us.
T1 pushing their way.
Like, I wouldn't have minded if top esports had gone at 0-3 but went down just swinging punches all series. But this is just depression. Oh my god. The depression continues. Redemption's not bad. Doran might still kill him. Kianavi's dead. They don't have that. You just can't kill the Scion, man. Okay, Goom's dead. I'd still think they lose the fight because... Wait, there's no... Hang on. Faker died as well, so it's 2 for 2. But like T1 are being so disrespectful with this because they're diving turrets like this, but... The Chemtech Soul makes... Oh my god, they don't even need their carries. Doran is the carry now. Oh my god, does he even die to that? He doesn't even die to that!
And the 3 remaining men on T1 knock down the tier 2.
369 survives for so long, but it's only so he can shed more tears as T1 continue to buckle the knees of top esports. There is little that they can do in this scenario. They just don't have enough damage.
I mean, top esports are coming very close in a number of these fights, but as you said, Dagda, they're just a little too behind in the gold. Very forced play comes through from T1. A nice execution onto Faker ends up being traded with Kanavi. Meanwhile,
I don't think I can watch anymore. It's been a rough watch. It's a rough watch. I just give us anything. Top esports, give us anything.
The target focus from T1 allows them to get the kill onto Cream. And then it's just a retreat from the
and now basically we're hoping that KT show up to give us a good finals, because realistically T1 go in huge favorites there too because of their track record versus KT this year. Like KT will have to do the unthinkable to make this an interesting finals. Because T1 they're on like good arrow. Oh, I just nailed him. You just can't get through the Scion, man. Doran's had a good game on the Scion, besides the early game. The early game was kind of shit, but then his team fighting late has been excellent.
And there's 35 seconds until the enemy jungler is back alive.
T1 and eliminations at Worlds are just a different beast altogether. And top esports are all too familiar with it. Quarterfinals,
just, I don't know. I don't know, top esports, man.
T1 only see victory.
T1 with the Baron pushing into the enemy base now. Doran happy to tank the turret. T1 continuing their push straight through that mid lane inhibitor. Sidewaves not really set up for a successful multi-lane push. So
T1 just massively out-prepped T1. I think the bot lane jungle massively outperformed top esports. I actually think Cream had an okay series. It's not on him. I think 369 had an okay series. I don't think it's on him either. The prep wasn't there. The drafts were not good. Well, it's an LCK Finals. It's Helicom War for Worlds Finals. I'm really worried for the LPL next year, folks. I'm really worried for the LPL next year. This is such a disaster of a tournament for the LPL. It's Helicom War for Finals. That is historic, and I don't want to overshadow that, but
in a row, they will return to the World Final.
8 out of the 10 times Faker has made it to Worlds, he has now made it to Finals. An 80%
when did he not make it? 2019 and 21, right?
At this level of competition, but
It's Helicom War for Finals. That is insane.
Year after year after year.
Incredible showing from T1.
I'm just so sad for the LPL.
The finals yet again.
This is a disaster for the LPL.
It's time for us to go ahead and
A disaster.
this one back to our analysts.
And it ends not in a bang, but in a whimper for the last representative of the LPL in their own house in Shanghai as they once again walk into the wall that is T1 and Faker.
I mean, this is historic for T1. 4th finals in a row. Potential 3-peat, Telecom War in the finals. But I'm sat here as an LPL fan. It's just a disaster for them. I'm really worried for the LPL next year, folks. Just the way that they bombed out of this tournament, it's going to be very hard to re-incentivize the audience for the LPL. Now, hang on, is Top Esports 0 and 15 versus LCK this year? 0 and 15?
Great for T1, and I think
will AL stay together? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Depends on a bunch of different moving parts, right?
Came from nullifying Kanavi in the jungle, right? Because
LPL this year had 80 roster changes, so yeah. We'll see if then that continues going into next year with crazy. They did really well though. The thing about LPL teams doing really well is that if you don't win the titles, then people don't care. You know, JDG did well, but they didn't win Worlds. They disbanded. BLG did well. They lost in the 5-game finals. They made changes as well, and yeah.
World Championship. It is just unmatched. It will never be matched. He's so far beyond the
Why is there no focus on Jackilo's possible retirement? Well, I guess it's a lot of speculation, right? But yeah.
And we were talking about it just here before, right? It is such a long career, and you've had to come up with monikers for him over and over. It was the
LCK is just too damn good, man. LCK is just so insanely good.
It was the T1 dynasty with the back-to-back victories. It was the unkillable Demon King. It was the captain that led his team when the rest of his team fell short.
Quick day at the office, folks.
When the rest of his team stood in for him and made him shine as well into now this narrative that was slumbering already with beating the LPL, but in the last couple of years, specifically in 2023, going through that bracket, showing that the LPL was no match for him at Worlds and that he does it again in this bracket today.
And to me, it's now about the longevity. It's about the fact that he has become the timeless one. You know, he is someone who just never is seeming to fade, is always able to maintain that level. And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm glad you brought up in sport.
Well, Jackie has had a very entertaining, very exciting, very cool career. It's sad for it to go out on first stand of Worlds like that here.
Of any other traditional sport that we could think of. Like, we started with esports, we moved to traditional sports. Nothing really came to mind off the rip. And that
there's that one guy who did surfing who was incredibly dominant. Kelly Slater, was it? Kelly Slater. There's Michael Phelps. There are very few sports people which have been that dominant over such a long time. Yeah, Phelps and Kelly Slater. Those are the two which I can think of. Anyone else who's that dominant? Nadal had Federer, so... The All Blacks at one point in history? Yeah. If you look at, like, 2005 to 2008 All Blacks. Yeah. Yeah, and Rugby Union.
Even today, we also need to highlight again, and I'm not here trying to dig on
Tiger Woods was pretty dominant, but not like at that level. Real Madrid, again, not that dominant either. I mean, not over the length of period of time which Faker has, over like a 10-year period. Tom Brady's up there for sure, yeah. Shaquille O'Neal actually got the game changed because he was so physical. Yep, that's a good point too.
or actually our boy Doran, getting the highest damage in the game as well.
I love Doran, and I gotta say, it's crazy because everyone knows Faker's the GOAT, but that core that you're talking about,
the All Blacks are the most successful team in all of traditional sports, pretty much. Yeah.
Ever these kind of talks, because they are there for so many World Finals in a row. Even though they did it in a much more condensed amount of time, they have accomplished more than many of the greatest players ever did in a full decade.
Absolutely, and now they are playing another grand final just next week. And since you didn't want to celebrate Doran,
hey, don't throw me under the bus.
Yeah, he's standing by on stage for the Verizon post-game interview, where he will be talked to by Candice, if my eyes don't deceive me.
再一次恭喜 T1 获得本场比赛的胜利。我们邀请到的是 T1 的上单选手 Doran， 也有请他和大家打声招呼。
먼저 인사 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다. Could you say hi to the fans?
안녕하세요, T1 탑라이너 도란입니다.
Hi, this is T1's top laner Doran.
今年我们世界赛的主题是争者留其名，而多兰选手，你的名字。
Well, folks, that's the last hurrah of the LPL this year. I guess we'll listen to the interview and then we'll head off.
你即将登上那一个所有选手都梦寐以求的舞台，这也是你职业生涯第一次踏上决赛舞台。而召唤师奖杯就在你的身后，同样的也是近在咫尺。所以你此刻有怎样的感想呢？
Congratulations on the victory. This year's World's theme was Name Etched in Battle, and this is also your very first World's Finals of your career. With the championship trophy now so close, what kind of feelings do you have at this moment?
입장하면서 트로피를 봤는데 너무 가슴이 벅찼고 꼭 저거를 갖고 싶다라는 마음이 많이 들어서 오늘 열심히 했던 것 같습니다.
When I was making my way to the stage, I was able to see the trophy, the Summoner's Cup, and I really want to have that in my hands. That made me want to play even better, even harder today.
但是在今天的这一场比赛当中，当队伍需要的时候，你依旧会拿出自信的战士类的英雄。所以，当你拿出不同类型英雄的时候，会有怎样不同的心态呢？
In previous matches, Doran, you're often playing tank champions, but today when the team needed it, you brought out the bruiser champions. How different does it feel to play these different types of champions? What kind of mindset do you switch back and forth?
메타라고 생각했기 때문이고 또 상황에 따라 필요한 챔프들 언제든지 다 꺼낼 수 있다고 생각해서 마음가짐은 카밀 같은 경우에는 탱커와는 다르게 좀 상황을 만들어줘야겠다는 마인드로 임했던 것 같습니다.
I've been playing a lot of champions because it is the tank champion meta on the top lane, but I'm always ready to play different type of champions when the situation needs me to play different kind of champions. The mindset that I had when I was playing Camille, I was like, unlike other tank champions, I should be able to set things up for my team as well.
两种英雄都发挥得非常的好。我还记得你在刚刚加入 T1 的时候，曾经在直播当中说，一切就好像是梦一样。 现在我坐在了 T1 的基地当中，而你也未曾辜负这一份机遇。面对重重的压力，你不断的证明自己，也让大家记住了这一个 T1 多兰。所以你觉得自己加入 T1 之后，给你带来最大的改变会是什么呢？
I still remember when you first joined T1 and you said on your stream that it feels like a dream. I cannot still believe that I'm actually sitting in T1's facility. And since then, you have worked so hard in order to make everyone to remember the name T1 Doran.
Well, we're going to have a fun time at finals, folks.
Has changed you the most?
Oh yeah, for people who are interested in watching finals here, I'm going to see if I can get Monty and Doa on to talk about the Telecom War before finals. So I'm going to go see if I can get Monty and Doa to come join us on stream for a little bit, chat about the Telecom War and finals, because of course they've been there for so much of the history. Might see if Wolf's around too from the LCK broadcast. He did a lot of that back in StarCraft days too. So I'm going to see if I can get like Monty, Doa, Wolf talk about Telecom War finals. It'd be very cool.
and I didn't really have a lot of time to focus on what's next. You know, I was so stressed out by every single result, but after joining T1,
Also, how fucking good has Carrier been?
how mentally strong my teammates are, and I was able to learn so much from them. And with that, I was able to make it to the World's Finals.
对于你的鼓励和安慰，所以你也一直在燃烧着自己，同样的也守卫了 T1 的荣耀。那现在你们即将步入决赛的舞台，你有什么想要对这一些并肩同行的队友们说的呢？
Throughout this year, in T1's voice comms, T1 players and coaches have always been there encouraging you. But today, you gave it everything you had, defending T1's honor with your own strength.
Okay.
What message would you like to share with the team?
It'd be amazing if you get all three. Well, we might even be able to get quick shot back as well. So we might have like Monty, Doa, Wolf, quick shot. We'll see if they're all down for it. I'm going to be doing it from GT's watch party in like a bigger venue for here in Berlin. Might be a bit messy, but the actual stream quality next time might be a bit weird. But yeah, I think it'd be...
We have gone through so many hardships this year, but we were able to overcome this because we were together. Now we only have one more week to go. Let's give it our all, and I hope we are smiling next week.
一定会达成自己的目标的。那其实之前多兰选手也说过。
I just can't believe that Faker has been this dominant over such a long period of time, especially in like season 8, 9, where we're thinking, okay, he's good, but he's kind of, or like maybe 2020 is a more apt year to throw him when you think, okay, surely he doesn't come back from this. I absolutely cannot believe. I cannot believe that
in the previous teaser,
you know, Faker bounced back from that, from those down years.
But at the end of every dead end, there's always the sound of cheers of T1 fans. Tonight, did you feel that loud cheer you talked about? How much motivation did their voices give you?
Okay.
네, 이렇게 타국에서 또 큰 경기장에서 좋은 경기 할 수 있는 게 너무 큰 행운이라고 생각하고 또 항상 팬분들의 응원 덕분에 지치지 않고 잘 달려갈 수 있는 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.
I am very, very lucky to be able to perform on such a big stage, also abroad.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to be casting finals. Do they get Chronicler in there? I wonder if Dracos gets his first World Finals. He's had a very good last year or two. I do wonder whether Dracos gets it. I think Atlas is back home, so it's probably not him. Flowers and Medic did semis, and you often don't get finals if you get semis. Yeah, I'd be interested to see who's casting it. And then in terms of the analyst, and between analyst and desk, it's a bit of a, you know, there's a lot of different options there.
And that whole interview to
yeah, there was a time where people were hoping that Faker would retire to protect his legacy. Yeah. Okay, folks. I'm gonna head off now, folks. Thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you next time. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and see you around.
Despite some of his failures internationally, has been praised for his teamwork, for his
let's go find some of the radio over to you guys. Thanks everyone. Obviously a bit depressing for the LPL fans in here, but I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, by the way, remember to